Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks so much for tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. Libations Friday, loosey-goosey edition of the show. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. All right. Friday it is. Email the show if you want, jcs at 979ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at JCameron Show. It's also at 979 ESPN Radio. If you want a Periscope, if you're an avid Periscoper, and it's on YouTube. Hello, YouTubers. I hope you are well. ESPN Tallahassee or Jeff Cameron Show on YouTube, and you'll find us. Big recruiting weekend. If you're an offensive lineman and you're just getting into town and listening to me, this is the place for you. You could be a hero. You will be extremely well thought of if you're even average. You could kind of suck, I'll be honest with you. You could suck a little bit. And we'll still look at you as God's gift to offensive linemen compared to what we just rolled out there this past year. That's right. Commit to Florida State. Real good chance you're starting. If you can walk, you're starting. Get your hands extended occasionally. Not in a way that ushers a defensive end to the quarterback, but inhibits his ability to get there inside of 1 second. If you can do that, superhero. So, again, welcome to Tallahassee, all of you. I know it's a big weekend, big recruiting weekend. I know that you guys, it's your time to shine, all of you. But in particular, offensive linemen, good to see you. Glad you're here. Stay for 4 years. No. Stay for 3. Be so good that you get to declare and leave early. That'd be great, too. We would celebrate that as well. But I'd like that predicament. I'd like to have that problem. Also, Florida State basketball on the road, Sunday, 6 o'clock against the University of Miami. An opportunity to sweep the season series like sweeping Miami in anything. But this isn't an easy task because, well, we're banged up and have been for some time. And obviously Miami at home figures to play a little bit better than they did here against us in an ugly, ugly game the last time these two teams met. By the way, Miami last night had a real opportunity to knock off the Cuse. 32-29 at the break they led, and then things kind of fell apart. Eventually, they fell big time, 73-53. They don't have depth. You really watch them get worn down. That happened against us, too.
Happened against NC State when they were playing at home and they held a lead, and they're up by, well, I don't even know. Was it 10?
10, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got outscored something god-awful down the stretch.
A 50-burger to NC State in the second half, yeah.
Didn't they get outscored like 29-7 or something over the last several minutes?
We talked about it. It was something ridiculous like that, yeah.
They didn't score for 9 minutes. That's what it was. They didn't score from the field, I think, from 9 minutes. Something weird like that. So, look, at the end of the day, they don't have a lot of depth. I'd like to say that our depth and size will wear them down, but I don't know because, again, our starters, I don't know how many minutes they can go. Terrence Mann is still dealing with this heel. Trent Forrest really having a Dickens of a time, Tom, with that toe.
Oh, he's
got
it's the Dickens.
It's a Dickens of a time with that toe. It's just, man, and he's going to need surgery on that thing before it's all over. And then in addition to that, we don't know if Phil Kofer will be back for this game.
We had great expectations for that toe.
Oh, man, come on. We could have just let it sit there. But, yeah, man, I'm worried about us. I'm very curious to see. Because here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If you win the game, which I don't care if by hook or crook, you win the game, you win by 1, you look ugly doing it, you look great, doesn't matter to me. Just get the road win. We don't win road games all that frequently. Get the road win.
Miami style, hook or crook.
That's right. Get the win. Go to 3-4 in the ACC, 15-5 overall. You already got a nice net ranking and RPI ranking. You'd be 1 game away from 500. You get a nice long respite before taking on Georgia Tech. You win that game, you get to 4-4. And you might not be a great team. You might not be the team we thought you were going to be coming into the season before all these injuries and all that stuff beset the team. But you would still be in a position to where you would make the NCAA tournament. And for me, it's about that right now. Gone are my expectations about 11-7 in the conference and some sort of 12-6 campaign in the ACC, stuff we were talking about. No, I think that's out the window now with the disastrous 2-4 start to the ACC campaign. But again, revealing more and more that they are really banged up, not mildly banged up, but really banged up, has got me just hoping, perhaps against hope, I don't know, that they'll just make the tournament and keep momentum going around here.
Speaking of heroes, David Nichols needs to continue to be one.
He had a good game against Miami the last time.
Yes, he did, and he's coming off a good game at home. But here you go. A road ACC challenge hasn't exactly been good to him, ACC play on the road. So let's go, David. We need you here. What lessons have you learned from getting on a plane and playing away from the TLCCC?
Can he play defense? The Miami team that came in here and gave us a game well into the second half benefited greatly from blow-bys. They just beat our guys off the bounce and got to the basket. And you've got to find a way to get in front of somebody.
That Obiagu thing, that was big, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. In retrospect, because even with all of these injuries,
rim protector, man,
you'd be so much better at that. With Kabengele coming off the bench, I mean, you could play Kamaje if you wanted to for like 5 minutes, but that'd be it.
You don't really need to, no.
Really? Foul trouble? For foul trouble purpose, or for fouls.
Right.
Just because you want to hack somebody, okay? No problem.
I feel like it. Hack him. Get in there, Kamaje. Elbow that kid in the face.
We're already in a double bonus. It's a whistle fest.
Yeah.
Have fun.
We ever run into those pit officials again, there it is. Come out swinging.
We miss Obiagu.
Oh, well, listen. It's funny, Angola being gone ended up being a much bigger loss than maybe we were prepared to accept. Not that he was an all-world player, but he carried you for stretches at a time offensively when he got hot. He played with great energy. He had all the intangibles, focused on defense, could really play well for long stretches at a time, be the MVP of a game or two every season against somebody good. And we missed that. We missed what he was, kind of a spark plug. Obiagu, you knew we were going to miss defensively, certainly not offensively, but defensively, he was an eraser. And he was only going to get better, bigger and stronger. He really was one of the catalysts for our run. And so it was a shame to see what happened in the offseason, but there's nothing they could do about that.
Right.
Like, you couldn't do anything about Angola's time was up here. You can't do anything about a handler deciding that that kid should leave a real good situation at Florida State. So that happens. And while we're on the subject, you can't do anything about the fact that Phil Kofer's hurt. You can't do anything about the fact that Trent Forrest has a problem with his toe that needs surgery. What are you going to do about that? And you certainly can't do anything about the fact that Terrence Mann's heel is keeping him from being anywhere close to 100%, anywhere close to the player that he's been as a slasher and a rebounder and a guy to give you second chance opportunities. So you're hamstrung here, and none of these things are your fault. If it was all poor coaching or they were making blatant mistakes, I would call that out. We've criticized him when we thought that he was too rigid with the need to play so many guys in certain situations and all those kinds of things.
They don't know where each other are on the court, it looks like at times, yeah.
Yeah, we've been critical of that, but this really has been a most unfortunate accident where guys got hurt and or graduated or left, and it has kind of crippled us. And here we sit, though, still 14-5 with a high RPI and a decent net and a chance with the schedule the way that it is to get to 500 in the ACC. You'll have 10 more games after the next two. And the reason I say that, if you get to 500, 4-4, you have 10 more ACC games. At that point, again, you just got to get 5 wins. You got to play 500 basketball. You've got 6 home games left. Basically, you got to win your home games at this point. You've got 2 wins. You got to find a roadie. This is your roadie. It's either this or Wake at the end of the season. Or
I think you'll need both because we're going to slip up at home at some point.
No, we're not. Tom, you're wrong about that.
Okay. Forgive me. All we need is this one.
Just this one. Just this one. The others are irrelevant. What's our home schedule? Give me the home schedule again. I haven't checked that one in a while.
Well, the next one is Georgia Tech. That's a week from Saturday.
Easy peasy, baby.
We play Louisville.
Get you some.
Bad. We play Virginia Tech and NC State. I'm not going in order because I'm going off of memory. I'm pulling up the schedule right now.
Well done, sir.
Well, thank you. It's almost like I look at this thing daily because I'm trying to find the wins.
You're trying to find the wins?
It's like the votes. I'm the whip.
Yeah.
So we got Georgia Tech a week from tomorrow.
Get you some, Tech.
The following week, we play Louisville at home.
Don't want any.
The following week, nope, we're on the road for that one. That Wednesday, we play Wake. That's a win.
Get you some, Wake.
All right. So after Wake,
That's
then
3
we go
wins.
on the road for 3 straight to Georgia Tech, Clemson, and North Carolina.
Got to win one of those.
Come home on short rest from a Saturday, Monday. We played Notre Dame that Monday night, the 25th of February.
Beat that ass. They're sitting at 1-5 in the ACC, 1-2 at home, 0-3 on the road. They are ranked 144th in the country. They suck.
Okay. The following Saturday, we host NC State.
Okay, that's a little bit different now. That's a pretty good team.
The following Tuesday, March the 5th, close to the end of the season now. It's our last home game. It is against Virginia Tech.
Who's good. So, yeah, that's a problem. That's going to be a war. Virginia Tech's 15-3. They're a good football
We
team.
close the season with Wake on March 9th on the road.
Okay, so maybe we will lose one, Tom. One home game, I suppose. Just the one, though. You don't get 2, guys. Protect your home floor. And we're good at that, by the way, so it's not like I'm asking for something unreasonable here.
It's only 3 home losses in 3 seasons. Yeah, right.
That's what we do. House of Horrors. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got
Thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
One of the top-selling brands of marijuana products in California's legal market. Calava says former Yahoo CEO Carol Bartz also put money into the company and is joining its board of directors. Hannah Storm and Andrea Kramer had so much fun in their first season calling NFL games on Amazon Prime that they are coming back for an encore. Amazon announced that the veteran announcing duo will return next season to call the Thursday night package on Amazon's Prime Video service. The WNBA team, the New York Liberty, has a new owner. The league announced that billionaire Joe Tsai and his family purchased the team from the Madison Square Garden Company. And that is a Bloomberg Business of Sports report. I'm Michael Barr.
It either is or it isn't. When it comes down to it, that's all that really matters when choosing a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. It's either certified by Mercedes-Benz factory-trained technicians or it isn't. It's either backed by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 5 years, or it isn't. It's absolute confidence in 30,000 precision parts, or it isn't. The Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales Event, now through February 28th, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Come in today and we'll help cover your first month's payment. Offer available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. There are those who settle for nothing less. For them, the choice is simple. It's either up to Mercedes-Benz standards, or it isn't. It's flawlessly maintained, or it isn't. It's either Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned, or it isn't.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on credit towards your first month's payment and certified pre-owned warranties.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops. They say that they guarantee the shops work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
Hi, this is Gene Deckeroff for Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. 2019 is here, and we've got to get rid of all the remaining 2018s. And the only way to do that is to offer employee pricing on over 50 Jeep Wranglers in stock. We've never been able to offer such unbelievable prices on Jeep Wranglers, and with over 50 in stock, they all must go. Buy one for as low as $29,900 or save up to $5,600 on in-stock vehicles. The all-new 2019 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and it's breaking all kinds of records. We have over 80 Ram 1500s in stock with up to $11,000 off MSRP. You can't go wrong. Motor Trend Truck of the Year and up to $11,000 off MSRP. It's the deal of the year. There's only one place to go. Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat on the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle. We're right on the corner and always right on the price. Or visit us on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. Dealer retains all rebates and incentives plus tax, tag, and dealer fee.
I'd love to hear more. Do you have a card?
This is it. This is when you can either let something happen or make it happen with your professional custom card from Vistaprint. Right now, you can get 500 business cards personalized the way you want them, starting at just $9.99. You pick the look, the style, and the statement you want to make in the moment. Now is the time to make something happen for your business. So, own them now with 500 custom business cards starting at $9.99 at Vistaprint.com. Just use promo code 5656. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 5656.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology actively invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you, the needle in the haystack.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/try. That's ZipRecruiter.com/try.
It's Golic and Wingo.
During the quote-unquote steroid era, when everybody talked about how baseball knew about it but didn't want to say anything because look what was going on, who was running the show then?
Bud Selig.
Is Bud Selig in the Hall of Fame?
Yep.
It's amazing how that happened. You do realize, people, before the so-called steroid era, steroids were being used. It doesn't matter just when it was right before it was tested for and right when it started to get tested for.
Golic and Wingo, weekdays at 6 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Some birds just sit useless like fists. I wrestle.
How about this quote? Mike Martin. For the first time in 45 years, I woke up knowing I'm doing something for the final time. Starts today. Woo! That'll choke you up. That's a toughie. I mean, if you're him, I think it would. I mean, it's profound. Can you imagine that? This is it. One last go around and we get started. Here we go. I'm eager. I always am for baseball.
That is pretty deep, yeah.
They're good. I'm going to be having my annual interview with Mike Martin Jr., in which we sit down and do about 30 to 40 minutes together and talk about the upcoming season and the stuff that happened in the offseason, the way that things look right now, at least from a lineup standpoint, offensively, defensively, where they're at. But I know from having informal conversations with him that they're excited. They like the team. And obviously I know who's coming back, so they do have a good team. As for Coach Martin, who wouldn't want this to end in glorious fashion? You'd love to see the elusive national title happen. It's too much of a Hollywood script to think that it will. But they're good, and given their track record of excellence, you know they're going to win enough games to be in the postseason. And if you get into the postseason, you give yourself a chance. And so I would just say this. I'll settle for now. If we're talking about storybook endings, get me back out to Omaha. Let's go. Get back out to Omaha. Give yourself a chance to do almost the unthinkable. I mean, the idea of a final season having a dream fulfilled in that last run, it's almost too good to be true, but you got to get to Omaha for it to happen at all. And so you get yourself out there and let the chips fall where they may.
I'll be greedy. Get me into the winners bracket in Omaha. It would take a special group of kids. That goes typically without saying, but there's another level here. It is his last season, and the program has never done it. The pressure that would mount on these kids, don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Maybe it never will because we don't get there. But it would take a special group to be able to withstand that pressure.
I have thought for a long time, and it's very difficult. It's frustrating that the legacy of Mike Martin and the winning and the consistency and all the records and all those things. Yes, I know that obviously he hasn't won a national title, but he's won everything else there is to win besides that national title. That as the time went on, as the years went by, it became another factor in them not winning. That they hadn't won became a factor in them not winning. That it carried a life of its own. And occasionally, in the bigger moments, we all felt it. And I don't know how the players don't. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it hasn't, but it feels like it has to me. It feels like that's been one more obstacle, the weight of having never done it. It's the elephant in the room at all times. It's when we're hosting big regional games or super regionals and you're thinking, man, could this be the one? Nobody else does that. Nobody else does that. If you've got a title or if you've never really been in a position to be consistently disappointed or devastated, it just doesn't come into your train of thought until you're out in Omaha, until you're maybe in, one of the last four standing or something,
Well, I would say this, that a good person to talk to that about is somebody that we saw today at breakfast, and that's David Ross,
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Tallahassee's own. I know you're going to be doing, some talking with David as we get closer to baseball.
We are, yeah.
But he knows from the Cubs, right? I mean, he would understand what that's like.
Yeah, he would, I think.
Extra layer.
I shouldn't say I think. Yes, he definitely would. It's weird. Those teams, that Boston team that broke the curse, were so goofy and fun-loving, and they almost spit in the face of those expectations. Like, it didn't bother them. Not only did they break the curse, they broke the curse after getting down 3-0 to the Yankees and doing something else unprecedented. So they shattered it. They said, well, here's your title, and oh, by the way, nobody's ever done this, and we'll come all the way back, and did.
Well, it wasn't Game 3 like it was like a football score at the Yankees.
Yeah.
Piled on like 20 runs.
Mm-hmm. It was nuts. And then there they were after winning that first one saying, don't let us win tomorrow night and all that stuff, right? I mean, you do have to have kind of a goofy way about you. You have to have a few players that are obviously really good, but have a devil-may-care attitude, and you can't make somebody be that way. They just are. Sort of cavalier in their efforts to go about their daily business of playing the game at a high level. And then others latch on to that personality. Others latch on to that mentality. And I don't know, is there a guy on this team that's that? I know they love some of the freshmen. This team, they've got a kid that came in that's got a lot of pop, some real power. And again, we'll expound on all of this when Meat and I sit down. I also want to talk to 11 one last time for the big run too. He was always gracious to me when I first started in media. I mean, golly, that's more than 20 years ago now. And I remember being nervous the first day I ever went over. I went with the late, great Lee Bowen to interview him.
Merely half his career, though, buddy. I mean, that was only the halfway mark of his career.
Yeah, that's true. I remember going over there with Lee Bowen, and I was so excited, obviously. And he was great. We sat down and went over the schedule, went over the team. He didn't know me from Adam, and he was gracious with his time, and always appreciated that. I'll reflect on that many moons ago. I'll reflect on that when I get in front of him, and we'll talk a little bit about that too. But I know they're excited about some of the youth. So give me Omaha. That's all. Just give me Omaha.
Nothing else.
Once you get to Omaha, then we'll ratchet up the expectation.
Well, the nerves, man. I mean, I think even detractors of Mike Martin's at that point get nervous. Because they go, come on. I think in an honest moment, even the people who are ecstatic that perhaps there's change coming, and maybe the next head coach of Florida State is not, his last name is not Martin. People are holding out that kind of hope. I think if we got there, in an honest moment, even those folks would say, come on, get it done. Let's do this.
The oddity of the group that is most vocal in their criticisms of Mike Martin is that they do appreciate the successes. It's the frustration brought on by all of those successes, but lacking the championship element that leads to the criticism. If you were a middling coach, there wouldn't be vitriol in this way because, he's okay. He's not great. When you're great and you haven't achieved the ultimate, which is to win that title, it's the only thing talked about.
Who are the only people that can hurt you in life?
Right. Those closest to you. So it's...
unless we're talking about stabbings or something.
Then it's a random stranger.
It could be anybody.
It could be anybody, really. Guy on the bus. Who knows? Probably is going to be the guy on the bus. If you're taking a bus, look out. But I'm just saying, if you have to hop on a Greyhound for any reason, stabbing could be coming. Highly predictable.
But if he told me I was ugly after he stabbed me, I wouldn't
care.
Me,
He's not close enough to me. No, I'd just be like, hey, I wish you hadn't stabbed me, bastard. So I don't know, man. Those people, no matter how vocal and critical they are, and there have been times where you could be critical, like last year, rolling your boy back out there. Go ahead and play that clip one more time. Ting.
Off speed, high in the air, deep to left field.
No. All right.
All you want are those first couple of seconds. But then if you have to really think about it and listen
Oh,
to
and
the
it
call,
hurts, man. It makes me angry. That angered me. And you know why that one angered me? That wasn't baseball being baseball. That was a mistake. Baseball being baseball, I've gotten old enough to go, sometimes it happens like
Baltimore chop?
Yeah.
Really?
That's going to go through.
Swinging bunt, huh?
Yeah, baseball being baseball, guy, turns on one, and what are you going to do? You watch enough baseball, it's just kind of the way the game's played.
The catcher bounces one off the plate, huh?
Yeah.
Goes about 80 feet in the air.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. No, you just get mad. You see it go skyward, and you go,
He's safe.
Safe. Unbelievable. That guy should apologize. Get to first and say you're sorry.
And the game is tied.
Yeah, you're like, and it's always that way, too. The announcers going nuts, and you, okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, I listen, as mad as I get about that, I keep thinking about that Oregon State game against Arkansas in the College World Series, and my man not able to catch a foul ball. That poor coach for Arkansas, his kid overran the foul ball. The next pitch is a single to tie the game, and then they lose on the walk-off homer. That is brutal.
That's the worst thanks for playing you could ever get.
Oh, my goodness gracious. As soon as that kid hits that ball, they're going to lose on a walk-off. They're screwed. And remember, they had to come back the next night? Oh, my God.
So there's a good YouTube video if you're looking for a Friday laugh, other than this show, of course.
Yeah.
And it is, you just look up, it says, soccer announcers call hockey goals.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just one layered over the other. It's really funny. But there's one from a regular season game. So it's just a regular season equivalent of what you're talking about. But this guy has an empty net, and he's skating to the empty net. There's no goal. He's just
There's nobody there.
He misses, and then the other team comes up the ice and scores with under 2 seconds to go to send it to overtime, and they end up winning in overtime.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, and they have a Spanish announcer.
He does it upright. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, it's yeah.
I got an announcement. It doesn't involve you and me, but it does involve a celebration for the Florida State basketball team. I'll mention it in a moment. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
I can handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
So, Tom, you knew about that guy, the big man that we signed back in November, the 7-footer for the basketball team?
McLeod.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's the kid. By the way, his Naheem McLeod, right?
They call him Big Duke.
Big Duke is the kid's name. Anyhow, I wanted you to know something about him. I knew you knew that he was coming here, and we did know that. He grew another inch. He's now 7'4", Tom. So instead of saying 7'3", Naheem McLeod being the future big man on campus here at Florida State, you can now say 7'4".
All right, that's a big man.
I haven't watched his tape. I don't know. Is he goofy?
Does
he look coordinated?
He looks like he's coordinated. He looks like he has an idea.
Well, then, damn it, man. That's a good thing.
Kumaje's 7'4", so now he will be tied as the tallest player to ever.
We're steady bringing in 7'4" guys. That's nuts.
Bojo was 7'3". So, yeah.
Forgot about Bojo's big ass. By the way.
Well, tall, yeah.
I mean, tall, yeah. He was thick, though. He was a big dude. Oh, no.
That was Ojo.
That was Ojo. That's right. Not Bojo. Bojo was skinny and sorry. I'm talking about, yeah, you're right.
Ojo was 7 feet or 7'1". He was such a key free throw shooter for us.
Man.
Down the stretch. It was unbelievable.
Drawers. Over and
Yes,
over again.
yeah.
Just pap. We never saw that coming.
It's like it's what we do with Kumaje now, except we want him to get fouled. We did want Ojo to get fouled, because 2 shots. All right, it's 2-0.
Did you know this about Big Duke? Old Big Duke here, committed to us, has a mom that's 5'5" and a dad that's 7'5".
Really?
That's correct.
I guess he's his mother's son.
He's 5'5". She's 5'5". He's 7'5". And about his dad, he says, he's a little bit taller than me, but I can sometimes still look him in the eye. It's kind of cool. Big Duke has a sister who's 6'8" and plays college basketball. Jesus, man.
Imagine them getting out of a car.
It's crazy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He does. I'm looking at the footage right now. You're right. He does look like he's got a little bit of coordination to him. Yeah.
Around the basket on the offensive side especially, yeah.
That's cool. He's
got, the body, not the body type, but he's got the awareness, the body awareness in close range to create space for himself, for putbacks and things like that.
Okay. Well, I don't go down that path too much, looking at basketball recruits and all that. I knew we had that kid, and I just saw that he grew an inch, so I went, okay.
The walk-on field goal blocker guy.
We need that. You know what else we need? More money. Look at this story. This is crazy. If we're going to keep up with the Joneses, this is what you're going to do here. Ohio State and Texas A&M. Working revenue, did you see this? This is unbelievable.
Building red light districts.
This is $200 million in operating revenue during their 2018 fiscal years. Ohio State and Texas A&M. Ohio State crossed $200 million in operating expenses, joining Texas and exceeding that figure on both sides of its ledger for 2018 and continuing what have been huge increases in its budget. This is the first time 3 public schools have exceeded $200 million in operating revenue in a single year.
That is news for Ohio State more than it is A&M, right?
Correct.
Because A&M has always been...
They print money.
Yeah.
Oil people. Texas A&M had its second consecutive year with more than $200 million in operating revenue. Its 4th in a row with more than 190. Its revenue figures over this time have been helped by massive donations, which have been used to pay for hundreds of millions in stadium projects for football, softball, track. So that spending is not included in operating expenses. Ohio State had $205.6 million in operating revenue, $203.8 million in operating expenses. The income figure represents a more than $20 million increase from 2017. This is the second time, 4 years for Ohio State, by the way. So there's what you got, man. That's a lot of money.
So does the investigation that they paid, is that, I'm not even kidding, does that
No,
count in the
does that
operating
count in the
revenue?
yeah.
That's a hefty price to pay that lady to say with a straight face that Urban didn't intentionally do anything and walk out.
He forgets stuff. Sometimes he just forgets things. Doesn't know what's happening there.
Hope he doesn't forget things as an analyst for ESPN whenever that deal is
You
struck.
may want to remember that one. Texas A&M reported $212.4 million in operating revenue for 2018 and $165 million in operating expenses. So they are clearing a tidy profit. However, as in recent years, the operating revenue again amount reflects total donations raised and spent during the fiscal year, while the operating expense amount does not include the donation money that was spent on capital projects. When Texas A&M's donation-based capital spending is taken into account, it ended the year with a surplus of around $3 million.
That makes sense, though. They're selling new, big and bright ideas. You know, if Jimbo gets into year 5, year 6, they'll probably be down to a paltry $195 million.
Yeah, it's an interesting experiment, right? They are spending to win. They have decided we are tired of not mattering. We are all in on the whole winning thing. That's why we went out and overpaid for our head coach, because he was one of the active coaches that had a national title. He likes new and shiny things, and they weren't going to give it to him in a timely fashion at FSU, so we'll dangle the carrot, $75 million out there, and he'll take it. But we're building stuff all over the campus because we want to win. We want the shiny new toys to lure the best of the best and to win in the SEC and to win a national title.
Yeah, $75 million for us if I'm a Texas A&M guy. That's like $35-40 million for you guys. That's really, we don't have to work hard for that.
By the way, now, of course, with that comes, as we all know, the expectations that you're going to dominate. And, of course, that didn't happen in year 1, but you get time. You get time. If they had lost that 47 overtime game to LSU, he would have had 5 losses.
This is true.
I mean, I'm just saying, I get the sense that people feel like that was a real good run for them, and
we'll see. Yeah. Is Bama leaking oil, I think, is one of the interesting storylines. Are they going to come back to earth and be a normal top 5 team, or are they going to be a top 2 team just like they have been the last forever?
If you're judging by recruiting rankings, and it's a big recruiting weekend, I would tell you that Bama is not leaking oil. They are still bringing in the best of the best. They are bringing in the pick of the litter. They are still bringing 5-star athlete after 5-star athlete into their program, and so long as they do that, they're going to continue to beat people on a regular basis and get back to the college football playoff on an annual basis. And that's so frustrating, but it's true. And I think when you see the exodus of coaches and you see the kind of stuff that we're talking about on a regular basis now, which has to be infinitely frustrating for Saban, we like to buy into the narrative that, that's a sign there's weakness. You know, they just got stomped. They never get stomped, but they got stomped by Clemson. Clemson can look them eye to eye. Yeah, right now, Clemson and nobody else.
I mean, if you're a Clemson person of any kind, be it a fan or media member, right, you'd say now's the time. You got to strike right now. You got 2 more years of this wonder kid at quarterback.
Well, we know what that's like. I mean, when Jameis was here, there was this sense that, look, there's not another one of those guys walking through that door. When you get a kid of that caliber who's an NFL quarterback and you see it in day 1 he steps foot on campus, you go, okay, this is different. You better bring home a title. Now, they did. Obviously, Clemson has.
A great purge on defense, but you have your bright mind there.
And the problem with Clemson was they brought in 2 of those kinds of quarterbacks. You know, you ended up, you had one in Deshaun, and then the elf comes in, and the next thing you know, look at him. You're out there again.
I've never heard him called the elf before.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. So the elf is out there slinging it, and there you're screwed. And, you know, it's maddening because it's like, I mean, clearly this is jealousy talking. But when you have that level of defensive linemen and the depth of that defensive line, and then they all come back, yeah, we're pissed. Because who does that? Who gets that fortunate? Well, they did. But it's not just on that side of the ball. The offensive side of the ball. Who gets a Deshaun Watson, and then the kid leaves, and, you know, he did what he was supposed to do. He won you a national title. And then through the door comes this a-hole. And you're like, well, okay.
Well, the goofy guy who runs down the hill. That's who.
At some point, man.
Does he get his own rock at some point?
He should. The stadium ought to be named after him. Goodness gracious. Clemson was doing nothing. They had been a long-standing frustration. Their passion was unquestioned, but their success was not commiserate to that passion. They didn't win anything. And then now they are the standard in the ACC. They are eye to eye temporarily with Alabama. And, you know, that's that guy, man. Taking a pay cut, bringing in the best assistants, continuing to recruit exceptionally well.
The one thing we did say at the time was that was smart. for all the second guessing and or doubting of Dabo, when he took the pay cut for assistants, I do remember that we said on the air, that's smart, man. If you want to keep your job, that's probably a good way to do it, is to increase the budget for assistant coaches.
Go find somebody who knows what you don't know and get them in there and let them do their job. This is the lone encouraging element of Florida State's offseason. That Willie Taggart in year one did not succeed, much to the chagrin of all of us. But what he did do was recognize that lack of success, have a clear understanding of expectations, have a clear understanding how close he really was to perhaps being no longer at his dream job, and go out in the offseason and say, okay, well, you know what? I guess I'm going to have to remove pride here for a second, walk away from my beloved offense, turn it on over to this dude who I know can run an offense, has had elite success. I'm willing to, take a reputational hit in order to do that.
Well, for two reasons. One is an offensive mind, and two for taking the chance on. Yeah.
But he did it. He showed the level of necessary concern for the situation.
He did have the necessary concern.
He did have the necessary concern. He did. And so I give him credit for that. Now let's just see if it works. But he did. He had the necessary concern. That button was pushed. It was time to hit panic. We don't like to hit panic. We like to be measured. Occasionally, you got to hit that panic button with the quickness. What we saw, I think many would have said right after the Syracuse game, mash the button. You're in over your head.
Oh, you want me to get somebody else killed? To me, that's him hitting the button.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys.
Mash the button, baby. You're a mess.
Blow the whistle.
Yeah. I mean, that was you and me in a feverish text back and forth. What is going on?
I would love if Willie communicated through the whistle, and he had different color whistles for different emotions and different expectations that he has, like the panic whistle and the celebration whistle.
The best thing that came out of the season was the win against Boston College because of the dance in the locker room, and I don't care what his record was or how angry anybody is. That was awesome, and I'm glad he did it, and I will forever use that. It's going to be a permanent GIF for me. It's the best. My son Clark does it every day.
What?
He loves it. The Willie Taggart dance.
He does the dance?
He does the dance. He calls it the Willie. He's like, I'm going to do the Willie. He does it in the driveway when he makes a basket. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Car Buying Landscape in North Florida. My brother Peter and I are now the proud new owners of the Infinity dealership in Tallahassee, the all-new Craft Infinity. As Mercedes-Benz dealers for over 25 years early in our careers, we know how to sell and service Highline vehicles the right way. At Craft Infinity, our mission statement is simple: to provide our customers with a car buying experience that is unsurpassed in value, consideration for your time, and pure enjoyment. Finally, the Highline experience you deserve, and it's from the Craft Brothers. Infinity is much more than a brand name. It's a lifestyle and it's a statement. And at Craft Infinity, Peter and I will go beyond your expectations in providing the best sales and service experience in Tallahassee. So come see us at the all-new Craft Infinity, beyond your expectations, and brought to you by the Craft Brothers. Craft Infinity, 3355 Capitol Circle Northeast, conveniently located between Home Depot and the I-10 flyover. Call 297-1488 or visit us on the web at craftinfinity.com.
I'd love to hear more. Do you have a card?
This is it. This is when you can either let something happen or make it happen with your professional custom card from Vistaprint. Right now, you can get 500 business cards personalized the way you want them, starting at just $9.99. You pick the look, the style, and the statement you want to make in the moment. Now is the time to make something happen for your business. So, own them now with 500 custom business cards starting at $9.99 at Vistaprint.com. Just use promo code 5656. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 5656.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
Recently, I've seen a lot of commercials from attorneys and public adjusters trying to cash in on the hurricane damages to your home or business. Using these individuals could result in a reduction in your insurance claim reimbursement. As a licensed roofing and general contractor, we know how to navigate insurance claims so that you don't have to share your reimbursement with an attorney or a public adjuster. If you have questions, give us a call. Our advice is free. Turning your claim over to an attorney or a public adjuster is not.
Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
What's good, Stephen A?
Tex Johnson in Texas. Tex, are you there?
Yeah, first of all, you got to take that damn cowboy hat off and stop talking about the damn Cowboys. You understand me, son?
Well, who are you?
Do you understand me, son?
Who is this?
Don't need to do nothing.
Who is
the coach will not be fired. Cowboys Nation forever. Now, you went on your little laugh rant last night laughing at the Cowboys. You better stop, son. I'm telling you right now.
What's your problem? This is my show. I do what the hell I want on my show. They think Garrett deserves to go, and that's that.
Listen, I know you got a big old fancy house up there in New York, New Jersey. I got some horses that can come do some business on your lawn.
Whoa. Who is this?
My name is Tex Johnson, sir.
Hell no! This is you, isn't it, Shaq? This is Shaq. Shaq, that's you, ain't it?
This ain't Shaq.
Yes, it is. Oh, hell no. I can't believe you.
Catch Stephen A. weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Channel 80 and the ESPN app.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Go to MyPillow.com, get the 4-pack special, use the promo code 979ESPN. It's great. Free shipping. Keeps its shape. You sleep better. You get the two go anywhere pillows to go with it. I just butchered that. You get the drift. Go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code 979ESPN. There you go. I had somebody stop me on the streets to tell me they got the pillow and they love it.
Did you really?
That's a true story.
What kind of pillow did they get?
My Pillow.
Oh.
A&M plays Clemson on the road next year. At Clemson, I forgot about that. Just checking in on Jimbo and the boys, see where they're at.
Death Valley, that's where they're going.
Mm-hmm. They got Alabama next year too.
Well, they have to.
Yeah, they've got. That's correct. Yeah, sorry, same side. What's wrong with you, Jeff?
Is it Brian Denny?
It's no, it's at Texas A&M. At Georgia, at LSU, back to back. Boy, they screwed them. Look at this, Tom. At Georgia, November 23rd. At LSU, November 30th. Whew. Now, grant you can warm up a little bit with the little UTSA and South Carolina and the two between it, but damn, that is not what you do. Imagine now the season we just had. If Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, and LSU were all on the schedule.
Season ticket sales would not go well, but we'd sell a lot of individual tickets because a couple of those would be here, right? You'd have people traveling.
Presumably, if we didn't give them away to Atlanta or Orlando or Jacksonville.
Forgive me, we'd hit all of those locations.
It's ridiculous.
We should just play our games in Jacksonville and just call it a day.
Look, we're looking to schedule so-and-so next year. Let's play that one. I don't know. Let's play it down in Miami. Let's give the fine folks down in Miami a glimpse of us.
It's much easier for a lot more Knowles to get there.
Damn it,
why don't we just move it, you know? We'll get a bus for the students, and there it is.
Ridiculous. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with us.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You can do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Some say Hulu is the bacon of TV. But think about it. Bacon is so incredibly good, everyone's eating everything without bacon forever. And Hulu? Well, with tons of shows and movies, exclusive originals like The Handmaid's Tale, plus live TV for sports, Hulu will ruin TV for you forever. Bacon. Hulu. Hulu with live TV plan required for live content. Restrictions apply.
Hey, Seminole fans, the weather's still chilly, but the prices are hot, hot, hot during the winter clearance event happening now at Garnet & Gold. For a limited time only, take an unbelievable 40% off regular priced Florida State outerwear, including jackets, sweats, and long sleeve tees. And take an additional 30% off all clearance items. Save big time during the winter clearance event on now at all 3 Garnet & Gold locations, West Pensacola Street, Killarn, and our flagship store on Governor Square Boulevard. If you're a Seminole, we're your store. Shop local and go Noles.
For the Bloomberg Business of Sports Report, I'm Michael Barr. Joe Montana, the former Hall of Fame quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, is betting on the newest California gold rush, cannabis. Montana, who founded a venture fund in 2015, took part in a $75 million fundraising round for Caliva, one of the top-selling brands of marijuana products in California's legal market. Caliva says former Yahoo CEO Carol Bartz also put money into the company and is joining its board of directors. Hannah Storm and Andrea Kramer had so much fun in their first season calling NFL games on Amazon Prime that they are coming back for an encore. Amazon announced that the veteran announcing duo will return next season to call the Thursday night package on Amazon's Prime Video service. The WNBA team, the New York Liberty, has a new owner. The league announced that billionaire Joe Tsai and his family purchased the team from the Madison Square Garden Company. And that is a Bloomberg Business of Sports report. I'm Michael Barr.
It either is or it isn't. When it comes down to it, that's all that really matters when choosing a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. It's either certified by Mercedes-Benz factory-trained technicians or it isn't. It's either backed by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 5 years or it isn't. It's absolute confidence in 30,000 precision parts, or it isn't. The Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales Event, now through February 28th, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Come in today and we'll help cover your first month's payment. Offer available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. There are those who settle for nothing less. For them, the choice is simple. It's either up to Mercedes-Benz standards, or it isn't. It's flawlessly maintained, or it isn't. It's either Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned, or it isn't.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on credit towards your first month's payment and certified pre-owned warranties.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm John Ryder. James Harden is on a historic pace with 21 straight games, scoring at least 30 points, including a career-high 61 on Wednesday night against the Knicks. And Harden and the Rockets take on the Raptors tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN TV. Will James Harden's minutes played end up being an issue? ESPN NBA senior writer Zach Lowe.
I don't think so, only because when he plays, he's awesome. That's the most important thing. And if he's awesome in the playoffs every game when there are no back-to-backs, that's great.
Sure.
These last 4 have been a little strange because, before that it was he's not going to play back-to-backs. These last 4 raise your alarm bells. And there are also, like, there's clearly a different set of rules for Kawhi than there is for the rest of the players on the Raptors. Maybe that creates chemistry issues. I don't know. And their whole team has really, in the scheme of things, barely played together, and they're going to need to get rhythm, before April.
The Westgate Las Vegas Superbook has set James Harden's over-under for points scored for tonight's game against Toronto at 41.5. That ties the record for the highest over-under point total they have ever posted. Rockets head coach Mike D'Antoni also says that Chris Paul will not play tonight against the Raptors, but is close to returning from a hamstring injury. 76ers guard Jimmy Butler seeing a specialist for his sprained wrist that he's missed the last 2 games. He's doubtful for Saturday's game at Denver.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio, and a fine Libations Friday to you and yours. All right, are you nervous at all? Maybe not, because it's Sunday. It's Sunday, so maybe not. By the way, we're online, ESPNTallahassee.com, meaning the game that I'm talking about is on Sunday. Florida State, Miami. You can email the show if you want, jcs at 979ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. The WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. Use it. If you're one of those folks that are mad at, you're mad about the Tropos, I got you, man. That's the app. You're good to go. No Tropos on the app. You're all set there. We're on YouTube. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you're well.
No.
There is Tropos on the app?
Oh, no.
Oh, you scared me.
No, we were talking about Sunday.
Yeah.
Not nervous.
You're nervous. You did. That was so tentative.
No, what that was a look of a little bomb, like, a couple letters, GD bomb, saying, don't you screw this up. Well, that's what it's not nervous. It's, hey, man, come on now.
Well, what do you mean screw it up? If they're hurt, they're not screwing it up.
I mean, Miami is no great shakes.
Miami's 9-9, 1-5 in the ACC.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Miami is in
dropping a bomb
real
here.
trouble.
Like, don't screw this up, guys. Come on.
And the funniest thing about basketball, and you get nervous in basketball, I've never seen you nervous. Well, that's not true. Okay, that's an over-the-top Corey Clarkism. No. You are rarely nervous surrounding a Florida State football game, either before it, during it, in the moment, close game, fourth quarter. You're just usually like, okay.
The title game.
Yes, title game.
Oklahoma.
A lot on the line.
Oklahoma at home, I was nervous for.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson in 13.
Beat that ass.
Wasn't nervous long.
Weren't nervous, yeah.
But I was nervous when, oh, my God.
Yeah.
That was such a great night.
Mm-hmm.
But really, there aren't many, dude. I get fired up for the Florida game, but not nervous.
I think just because we went down this road for a second, I'm going to sabotage my own first segment and then get it together. I should reveal once again that the coolest part about you being on the field and me being on the field for the Florida State Clemson game up there 2013, when we announced our presence with authority for the rest of the country to see, was Jameis Winston walking over to the sideline or standing on the sidelines before the offense took the field. That's the night Clemson was trying to set their all-time noise record.
Yeah, I was standing next to the mascot and the little mascot, and they had a bullhorn.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to punch them.
Unsettling, yeah. Mm-hmm. So remember the fans were trying to set the record, it was unbelievably loud.
It was so loud.
I don't think Jameis would be mad at me for this, but I was very fortunate. I was right there on the Seminole sideline, and he said, listen to that. Now let's go shut these. And he used
these people up.
And it was awesome because he said it, and the whole place, that whole group went nuts. And I instantly went, ooh, we're going to beat their ass. And you could just, and Jimbo knew it that week too.
Oh, everybody knew.
Quiet
They walked out with
confidence.
bravado.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah,
James Wilder's got his shirt rolled up.
flexing. Yeah,
May as well have his pant legs rolled up like a Euro-style Speedo.
yeah. He was going.
Hey,
1985
what
on
you want?
Came out of the stadium flexing. That's the best. And he's just staring down at his playbook.
You know what James tweeted out the other day, and I just saw this because if you go check out like the news, because I have Florida State, somebody follows, it gives you the Florida State news, which I do like that feature on Twitter. It's in a separate column. But he said, I wish I played linebacker a little bit more. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? We could have used you, dude. We could have used James Wilder Jr., the linebacker. I get it. He had some memorable moments. 2012 against Clemson.
Oh, the Virginia Tech run.
The Virginia Tech run.
Woo!
That was huge.
Grown-ass man
Yes,
run.
it was.
Yes.
That's the more important run.
Yes.
But the 2012 Clemson game earlier in the season, Musburger fell in love with him because he just kept plowing over dudes, and
James
Clemson
was a
didn't
lot
want
of
to play
fun.
anymore.
Right.
But the linebacker, I think that guy could have made some money on Sundays.
Oh, well, that one could. He did try to play linebacker in the league.
It's a little too late.
Oh, yeah. He
Development.
just now tweeted that out?
Like this past week or the week before, yeah. He's playing. I mean, he's playing for
playing
Toronto.
Canada, right?
He's doing
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
He's doing
yeah.
really well up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
He's like, I miss that. I miss playing linebacker. Well,
Oh.
son of a.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Well, remember, what didn't he originally say we were going to play him both ways or something like that? But you can't.
We
can't-
guaranteed him running
running
back.
back.
That's why he came here.
That's right. Chad. I had it backwards.
Yeah.
You're right.
From Tampa Plant. Is that where? I think he went to Plant.
And Jimbo once referred to him lovingly, in recruiting to me. And again, I'm giving up secrets, but I was talking to Fisher about recruiting, and Wilder's name came up, and he was like, "Well, I want to get a big bitch."
That's okay to reveal.
Yeah.
That's in play.
It was awesome because we were talking about the backs.
It's like top secret clearance being lifted.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think he's okay. Coach, if you're listening,
8-9 years ago.
Yeah, but we were literally talking about the recruiting class, and we were off the record, and we were just chit-chatting, and I said something about James Wilder, and he goes, yeah, well, I want to get a big bitch. And I thought that was the best. I was like, well, good on you.
Listen,
You got one.
The best part of Jimbo's tenure were recanting those stories. You tell me the stories of what he would say before the light went on.
I've got those stories for the rest of my life. I have
incredible.
I have 9 years worth of just he and I talking for a half an hour sometimes about the team, and I used to want to go on the air all the time and say, "Oh my God, you're not gonna believe what he said about so and so." And I don't mean our players. I'm talking about opposing players, opposing coaches, announcers, others. Yes.
So my favorite story is this one, and I'll make it quick, but I think it was Mario Pender. So he's talking to you about something serious.
Mhm.
Like he's
Very
not mad,
serious,
but
yeah.
he's talking about something serious, and he's like, so what we need to do on third down is, hey, he cuts himself off.
Cut himself off.
He goes, hey, want to know what Mario Pender said to me?
That was the Syracuse game when he got jacked up.
Whatever game it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
But he came to the sideline and
Yeah.
he said, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Coach, that guy bleeped me up good." and Jimbo thought it was
hilarious.
the funniest thing he'd ever
It
heard.
was the Syracuse game. Yeah. And he came over the sideline and said that to Fisher.
Well, on third down, you need to run the right. Hey, you know what?
What he said to me there was, he said, hey, coach. You know what he said to me? Because if he liked you for the day you were coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good. But now there's nowhere to go with this segment.
That was worth it, I think, right? Those are good stories.
Yeah, that's fun. Jeff Cameron, Libations Friday indeed.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Catering Needs. They're Tallahassee's largest catering company, and they manage event spaces at venues like Madison Social, Township, and The Gathering. They can plan all of your wedding events, engagement parties, bridal brunches, rehearsals, even wedding receptions. No new rock on the finger? Hey, doesn't matter. Whatever the event, they've got you covered. For more details, email matt@madisonsocial.com. Again, that's matt@madisonsocial.com.
Guys, are you tired of being tired? Frustrated because it seems impossible to lose belly fat? If you're looking for a solution, listen to Dave.
Andro 400, I really love it. I've lost 50 pounds. I was a size 38 waist. I've gone down to a 32 waist. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy. It feels like I'm 25. I'm so happy. I'm just a completely different man.
Andro 400 Max, an extra strength, all natural testosterone booster. The safe and affordable way to gain energy and lose stubborn belly fat. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Go to andro400.com or call 888-510-9336. That's 888-510-9336.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan, Tallahassee. Thank you for another great year. Tallahassee truly is a Nissan town. Because of that, Nissan has come out swinging in 2019 with January savings like we've never seen before. With up to $5,000 off of 2019 Maximas, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Up to $10,000 off of 2019 Armadas and Titans. You want to save even more? We have a few remaining of most 2018 models that will save you up to an additional $2,500. But wait, it gets better. With our Nissan Zero and Savings event, Kraft Nissan has 0% interest on 14 models, plus 0 down and 0 payments until after April tax day. And our hottest models, the all-new 2019 Altima and the 2019 Rogue, starting at just $21,900. And the all-new Nissan Kick starts at only $18,800 with available 1.9 interest for 60 months. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much. Way too much. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Prices include dealer preparation charge, interest rates with approved credit.
I'd love to hear more. Do you have a card?
This is it. This is when you can either let something happen or make it happen with your professional custom card from Vistaprint. Right now, you can get 500 business cards personalized the way you want them, starting at just $9.99. You pick the look, the style, and the statement you want to make in the moment. Now is the time to make something happen for your business. So, own them now with 500 custom business cards starting at $9.99 at Vistaprint.com. Just use promo code 5656. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 5656.
It began with a challenge from the game's greatest players, a mission to solicit speed from every detail of the driver. The new Titleist TS2 and TS3 drivers were born from the pursuit of speed. And now Edwin Watts Golf challenges you to find a faster driver than the new Titleist TS2 or TS3 by participating in the Faster Than Yours Challenge, exclusively at Edwin Watts Golf. For a limited time, test your current driver against the new TS2 and TS3 drivers, and you could win a $200 gift card. Come take the Titleist Challenge today, exclusively at Edwin Watts Golf for a limited time only.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Green salsa or red salsa, because it seems like the fat guys are going green salsa.
I'll say red, but not too chunky. How about that?
So you don't like a pico?
What is that?
Pico de gallo?
No, don't like pico.
Okay, very good. Doesn't like something he doesn't know. That's the Stugatz move. What is it? It's stupid. I don't like it. Nobody likes that.
The Dan Le Batard Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You know what I'm appreciating? The underwear revolution. Starts like an ad, doesn't it? Sounds like I'm about to pimp something. I'm not. They're doing great things with underwear these days, buddy. Bought any new underwear lately?
Well,
it's like the jeans revolution.
Yeah. I've heard about like the air comfort and all that kind of stuff.
Man, underwear is incredible. My wife bought me a 4-pack from the the Duluth people, whoever they are.
Yeah.
Love it.
Really?
Oh.
And it makes that big of a difference.
Big time. I'm in shock. I'm going to get you some, buddy. It's unbelievable.
As long as it's new.
I'm telling you, they are. I should get this endorsement. I could brag about these people legit for a while.
Yeah?
It's unbelievable. I'm not wearing that pair today. I'm wearing a different pair, and it's pissing me off.
Really?
Yeah, it's that noticeable.
I've enjoyed the more athletic kind of underwear.
Uh-huh.
Like
the boxer briefs that are...
They're so big it doesn't matter. Reebok. I have like Reebok, like
right.
athletic. It's almost like It's not Pro Combat. What is that
I know
material?
what you're
Dry
talking
fit.
about.
Dry fit material.
material, yeah.
That's great stuff.
Oh, no, wait till you try these.
It's expensive, though, you know.
Oh, they're expensive, but quality. You pay for what you get, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're going to like these. That's an aside. I bring all this up to say this.
Pay for what you get.
What did I say?
Well, that's right. You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for.
But you do pay for what you
Pay
get.
for what you get.
Unless you're a thief.
That's right. Nike will succeed Majestic Athletic as Major League Baseball's uniform supplier for the 2020 season. Did you know that? The swoosh logo will likely move to a more prominent position on the front of the jersey.
The Mets are going to pull a Bucks and have like alarm clock numbers or something.
The swoosh is expected to be on the front of all Major League Baseball uniforms starting as early as 2020. That deal was announced today. And so it's a 10-year deal, by the way. Now, that in and of itself is not the thing that I'd bring to the table, but we love to talk uniforms. We are men, and it got me thinking about how comfortable underwear is because I'm weird. But then also, I thought about this. Let me ask you this, buddy. For all the talk that we do about the proper garnet or the uniform changes we need at FSU, would you want the Air Jordan, the symbol, the logo, like Michigan has on their uniforms? Would you want that on ours?
No, Florida has it.
Well, so do lots of cool. North Carolina has it. Michigan has it. Florida has it. It's not like a signature of our rival.
Yeah, but they got it first, so that's fine.
Let's say they didn't. Would you want that on there?
Still probably no, I
think
guess.
I do want it.
You want the Jordan thing.
I think I want the Jordan thing.
Well, like if we're playing football, you want the Jordan basketball
I know
logo
that
on your
sounds
football
strange,
thing.
but when Michigan wore it, I thought it looked good. I liked it. I don't like Harbaugh, so I'm always inclined to hate anything Michigan does because of Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, when they came out and they had the Jordan on the uniform, I thought, you know what? Because it's a brand. It's not so much about basketball. I know the pose. I know what it is. And I know it's obviously associated with the greatest basketball player of all time. I'm just saying, I kind of liked it. I could picture it if it was like a garnet one on white pants. How cool would that look?
It would look pretty cool. I'd say this. I know it's going to be like nails on a chalkboard to a lot of people, but I'd prefer Adidas if we could get them.
People don't want to hear that.
I know. Well, if they stay in their lane, if you force them to stay in there, they make beautiful things.
But they never do. They can't. They're habitual line steppers. I don't know why, but they are. They can't do it.
Well, so's Nike. Look at our damn uniforms now.
Well, our uniforms would be fine if we had white numbers.
And a better garnet. Ain't the same damn thing. And they wanted to give us the white gold helmets. And
they screwed that up.
And they gave us gold numbers to begin with on the white jerseys.
No, that was a screw up. We don't need gold numbers, period.
It's a lot of screw ups.
Stop doing that. Right. But we both like the logo.
Yeah, I'm fine with the logo.
Yeah. Majestic has manufactured Major League Baseball's
Who approved
uniforms.
that and when again? What was the timeline there from the university? Is that accurate? Who approved that logo and when? Do they have the stamp of approval?
Are you talking about...
There's some mixed messages about that.
You're talking about... Well, we can't...
The logo.
So, Monk Bonasort is no longer with us. We can't now have this conversation.
True.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Never
just,
mind.
that's the end of that. Majestic. I wish I could call Monk right now. Believe me. I thought of that the other day, to be honest with you.
Because I've got notes from back in the day and what they said.
We don't need to bring this up again.
Okay.
Majestic has manufactured Major League Baseball's jerseys. Did you know this? Since 1982. And they were the exclusive supplier of game uniforms since 2005. Now, they used to do the batting practice jerseys and the underneath stuff and all that. Then they became prominent. And I never understood how Majestic got that deal. Why Majestic? When the hell else have you ever bought anything that has Majestic on it? Never.
Owned
Nothing.
by Ronald Seelig.
It's weird, right? You've never seen that. You've never gone to the store and been like, I can get the Adidas or the Nike or perhaps the Majestic. That never happens.
That's true. But you know what? If you're a baseball fan, you can see the Majestic logo and the little patch they have.
And you know it instantly.
Clear as day. Yeah, you can see that.
But I don't like Majestic. I'm okay with Nike taking it over.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. The door is opened to ridiculousness in the MLB because of what the D-backs are currently wearing. And I think Nike's going to take that and run with it and just hope it's not your club.
Every time one of us says D-backs, the other cringes thinking, what did he just... Oh, no, you can say that.
The Diamondbacks.
Freaking D-backs.
I mean, look
See?
at that.
Makes you cringe.
That monstrosity of a uniform they have. Like
It's
the two-tone
embarrassing.
from the shoulders down to the belt.
It's just wrong.
Nike's going to say, ooh, that's a great idea. We could do more of
No,
this in more
baseball
markets.
uniforms, man, they usually get it right. Don't do that. They're an outlier. Most baseball uniforms are great. Most. Not just a few. Most are great.
Nike's going to have some experimental markets.
Think about it.
The Rays will be one.
Even the Rays got it right in the last. I mean, twice. They got it right not once, but
the
twice.
forest green ones were killer.
Oh, the greens were incredible.
With the vest.
But I have to admit, that little yellow sun with the baby blue and dark blue, that's nice. They did well.
Yeah, the double blue.
But it looks good.
The Titans do that. It's like pick a blue.
Yeah,
dude.
pick a blue.
I mean, even Carolina has like navy plus. It's Carolina blue.
Yeah, don't do that, you dumbasses. But think about it. The Mets uniforms are great. The Yankees uniforms are great. The Tigers uniforms are great. The Pirates uniforms are great. The Phillies uniforms are great. Dodgers uniforms are great. A's uniforms are great. You can go on for days. Almost all the uniforms are great.
The Bucks ones are pretty good. Then Nike took over, right?
Oh, yeah, back in the day.
Yeah,
But
now
that
we got
wasn't
shoulders like it's a hockey jersey.
That's these dumbasses don't know what they're doing.
Well, my ownership group plus Nike could be a problem.
The lesson of this segment is that get you some new underwear, kids. Invest in new underwear. It's worth it. Just like I told you about the jeans.
Children specifically, yes.
I didn't steer you wrong about the jeans. The jeans revolution benefited us as men. The underwear revolution is benefiting us as men. I'm not kidding you.
Comfort on the go.
Real comfort, buddy. Yeah, moving all around, feeling good.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Vehicles. The all-new 2019 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and it's breaking all kinds of records. We have over 80 Ram 1500s in stock with up to $11,000 off MSRP. You can't go wrong. Motor Trend Truck of the Year and up to $11,000 off MSRP. It's the deal of the year. There's only one place to go. Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat on the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle. We're right on the corner and always right on the price. Or visit us on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. Dealer retains all rebates and incentives plus tax, tag, and dealer fee.
Some say Hulu is the bacon of TV. But think about it. Bacon is so incredibly good, everyone's eating everything without bacon forever. And Hulu? Well, with tons of shows and movies, exclusive originals like The Handmaid's Tale, plus live TV for sports, Hulu will ruin TV for you forever. Bacon. Hulu. Hulu with live TV plan required for live content. Restrictions apply.
The Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce, who's celebrating their 95th year in business this year, would like to recognize their newest members.
Hi, I'm Corey Melton, the Vice President of Membership, and I'm proud on behalf of the Chamber to welcome our newest members from December. Canopy Gardens, Center for Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy, Compass Community Pharmacy, Danton Consulting, Data Set Ready, Eck Realty, Fleming Consulting Services, Florida Pro Computing, Golden Corral, Independent Colleges and Universities of Florida, Kiever McKee Engineering, Nuvita Weight Loss, Park Avenue Inn, Parker Services, and Ricardo's.
The Chamber is proud to support over 1,400 local businesses representing over 60,000 employees. For information on how your business can be a part of the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce, contact Corey Melton at 850-521-3104. Once again, contact Corey Melton at 850-521-3104.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm John Ryder. James Harden is on a historic pace with 21 straight games, scoring at least 30 points, including a career-high 61 on Wednesday night against the Knicks. And Harden and the Rockets take on the Raptors tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN TV. Will James Harden's minutes played end up being an issue? ESPN NBA senior writer Zach Lowe.
I don't think so, only because when he plays, he's awesome. That's the most important thing. And if he's awesome in the playoffs every game when there are no back-to-backs, that's great.
Sure.
These last four have been a little strange because, before that it was he's not going to play back-to-backs. These last four raise your alarm bells. And they're also there's clearly a different set of rules for Kawhi than there is for the rest of the players on the Raptors. Maybe that creates chemistry issues. I don't know. And their whole team has really, in the scheme of things, barely played together. And they're going to need to get rhythm, before April.
The Westgate Las Vegas Superbook has set James Harden's over-under for points scored for tonight's game against Toronto at 41.5. That ties the record for the highest over-under point total they have ever posted. Rockets head coach Mike D'Antoni also says that Chris Paul will not play tonight against the Raptors, but is close to returning from a hamstring injury. 76ers guard Jimmy Butler seeing a specialist for his sprained wrist that he's missed the last 2 games. He's doubtful for Saturday's game at Denver.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
You might think that I'm due to pick on Tennessee, and you'd be right. But I'm not. It's part of a bigger story, and I find it fascinating. I did not know the extent of their struggles, not meaning the extent of their struggles on the field. Yes, that I knew, but in the stands. So Philip Fulmer recently talked about a plan to remedy sagging. I'm quoting the Knoxville News. This is not my verbiage. Sagging Tennessee football attendance. Never thought I'd see the day, Tom. I mean, they are a great fan base. Have been for a very long time. Rabid. Out of control. Over 100,000 seats. Volunteer Navy. The whole deal, right? So the article begins as follows. The recipe seemed perfect for Tennessee to host a big crowd for its September 22nd football game last season. The Vols played Florida in a primetime rivalry game on a night with perfect weather. Each team, although unranked, enjoyed the hype of a first-year coach. Tennessee announced a crowd of 100,027. Not a sellout in a stadium with an official capacity of 102,455, but close. In reality, nearly 15,000 seats were empty. And the crowd of 87,797 who watched Florida beat Tennessee 47-21 at Neyland Stadium marked Tennessee's best-attended game of the season. According to figures reflecting actual home game attendance obtained by USA Today, the Vols, like many other schools across the country, are struggling to fill their football stadium on a regular basis. Quote, it's going on nationwide. It's more of an issue where we have so many content distributors, said David Ridpath, the associate professor of sports administration at Ohio University and former athletics department administrator. There's so many ways to watch a game now. So many other things that people can do as opposed to when Philip Fulmer was coaching. Well, they also won games when he coached. They don't do that anymore either. Tennessee's last announced sellout came September 30th, 2017 against Georgia. The Vols announced attendance for 7 home games in 2017, averaging, this is crazy, a decrease of 5.1% compared to their attendance in 2016. This year it was 2.9% drop from that 2017 number. So as for the actual attendance, they're averaging 77,000, which is a nice number, except for it holds 102,000. That is stark. Think about how many empty seats you're looking at there.
They finally had enough.
25,000 empty seats at Neyland for a home Saturday. Just 20 years of being butt sorry. They just decided, okay, that's it. 20 years is too much.
Well, they're going to give Pruitt a shot, then they throw up all over themselves in the aforementioned Florida game, and that's it.
Their second largest crowd was against Alabama, but 85,000 showed up to that one. They just figured the butt kicking was coming.
20,000 Bama fans?
Announced average home attendance decreased at 11 of the 14 SEC schools. Well, where's the passion, SEC? Where are your fans? What happened? Vanderbilt did see the biggest drop. People are done with Vanderbilt, Tom. The only schools to show gains in attendance this year, in the SEC?
Kentucky?
No. I was surprised by that. LSU.
Really?
Yeah, LSU did.
Okay.
And Texas A&M. Tennessee's average announced attendance marked its lowest since it averaged an announced attendance of 89,000 back in 2012. The Vols went 5-7 that year too. But it's going to be tough to reverse the trend. Fulmer's talking about the winning and fan experience are things that we're working on. We've got a plan. What's the plan? You got to win games.
Well, I mean,
that's the plan.
But I mean, more than a jumbotron, it's bleachers, man. You're sitting in bleachers, and so you go to. I mean, even go to the Civic Center. Go watch a game with the TLC Double C and look at that experience from 5-6 years ago. And that's not even a great experience when you compare it to the best arenas around this country for professional sports.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got chairbacks, you got air conditioning, amenities, a nice, jumbotron in the middle of the court. That place has dressed itself up quite nicely compared to what it used to be. You still got bleachers, man. I mean, we all talk about the Champions Club, and that's a fun experience. At least do it once, Knowles fans, if you haven't done it. But the rest of it is hard bleachers. It's hot as hell for all but one of the home games, it seems like, every year. And what are the concession stands? Still underneath the erector set.
Yeah, it's not it's funny. This is a trend all over the country, and I don't know that you can do really anything about it, save for winning a lot of football games. And they talked about that. Tennessee's basketball attendance is number one in the country right now. I mean, they're winning.
Yeah.
And they're winning, and people are stunned at the rate they're winning at, and they're going out and supporting it.
Well,
I mean, that's the bottom line.
Think about our attendance in 2016, the year we won 26 games. So the 16-17 season, I guess.
It was crazy.
I mean, even the Louisville game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday is packed. The Virginia Tech game, which we hadn't announced ourselves quite yet, was well attended for a Florida State Virginia Tech game. The
Much
Duke game
easier
obviously is going to be big, but I mean, people came and showed up. Think about the Duke game this year.
Oh, it was
you win
incredible.
that one. The Clemson game is all the more attended this past week.
Yeah, I don't think there's and that was a weird, those midweek games that are late, I don't know that you're ever going to get great attendance. That wasn't real late. I know what you're saying.
It wasn't terrible attendance, but you would have that extra 1,000 to 2,000. That makes the place look completely different.
Well, and they're talking about things they've got to do to spruce up the stadium there at Neyland. But look, bottom line is this is what they had in actual attendance last year. 83,000 against my boys from Etsu. They had 72,000 show up to the UTEP game. The aforementioned Florida game, 87,000. Alabama, 85,000. Charlotte, 70,000 people showed up. I mean, good Lord, well over 30,000 empty seats. That's a toughie. Kentucky, 74,000 people showed up, and against Missouri, only 70,000 people showed up. So they're much closer to 70,000 than they are 90,000.
Season was, all hope was lost.
Yeah, they've. But when you win, people will show up. Florida State turns around and wins 10 games this year. People are going to the games. The trend around the country of the erosion of attendance is going to take place everywhere. It's happening, as you just noted, as I just said, 12 of the 14 schools in the SEC. You can't convince people that the in-game experience, if you're playing a team like Samford, is better in the stadium than it is at the house. It's just not anymore, and it hasn't really been in a long time. And anymore, with the amenities, with the internet, the access to your fantasy teams and all that other stuff, you really have to have a hell of a draw. You've got to have good teams. You got to have a great home schedule.
Was it always a bubble?
Probably.
The attendance? I mean, if you think about it, the television experience wasn't as good.
It was terrible.
So you had to go. The sport was growing in popularity at an incredible rate for a really long time. So, I mean, think about it. How convenient is it to get here? It's not. We all know that.
Well, now that's a unique problem to Tallahassee, but I think the trend of attendance dropping across the country, there's nothing unique about that. That is going to be the new norm. When you build a stadium, let's say you're a new program and you build a stadium, it used to be the race to build the biggest.
Yeah.
That's just irresponsible now because no matter how good you are or what your goals are there or what you can do with Wi-Fi, the bottom line is it is always more convenient with today's televisions and what you can get for the money to stay home and watch a game, unless you're talking about wanting to feel the energy of a live game against an elite team. That's not better at home. If Alabama comes to Doak Campbell Stadium for some reason and we're playing them on a Saturday night at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. You can't replicate that in your living room. You would want to go be part of that. You'd want to feel the energy in that room. But when you're playing, again, Samford, and when you're playing, whether it's Boston College or Wake or whomever else, Northern Illinois.
Yeah, this year it'll be Syracuse, Louisville, NC State.
And the game that might have been a curiosity and well-attended, partly because it's the opener, would have been probably a sellout against Boise State, is now in Jacksonville. So your home schedule is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have a real hard time there. I've been on this trip for a long time wanting the home and home to be an actual home and home. We discussed this week on Headlines. We were talking about your idea, Tom, originally, or you were the first person to bring it up to me, which was why don't these sponsors who just want their name out there, who certainly want the repeated mentions, why don't they just sponsor home and home series? You get what you get.
Yeah, you get an individualized contract between the two teams when they sign their agreement. Yeah, like FedEx is the official sponsor of the Boise State, Florida State showdown.
Right. And just make that a home and home, and you can put it right there on the screen.
Knowles and potatoes. Here we go.
I wonder where it ends, though. We talk about it going the other way. What do you think? I mean, if you're building a stadium now and you've got a big enough university, let's say you're the equivalent of a Power 5 type school, what would you build? 60,000?
I'd probably want 55 to 60,000 guaranteed seats with a way to install through safety code and all that kind of stuff up to 70, for
in case trends go the other way.
Well, no, just for big
games.
So you can add on, they're like little wings to the end zone or something like that. I mean, Jerry's World, right, could tack on another 10, 20,000 for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they could, yeah.
I don't know engineering-wise how you would do that, but I would like to have that option, sure. But that would even be like a bleacher add-on or something along those lines. You need chair backs, and you need wide chair backs.
Yeah, people are too fat, and you do need chair backs, and you need relative ease. Now, this idea, one of the things that's going on in a lot of arenas, whether it's hockey or basketball, doesn't matter. I think they do it in some football stadiums. The ordering at your seat.
Yeah.
That's what time it is, baby.
Okay, if you could do one of the following things to Doak Campbell, which one would you do? Would it be give it a retractable roof, chairback seats, or modern amenities when it comes to like app services and concession stands?
You said retractable roof, modern amenities, and what?
Chairbacks and like spaced out seating areas.
Retractable roof.
I think that's the one that would make them the most money.
It's so damn hot in that
Correct.
stadium at times.
That's not going to change,
just
man.
Brutal. No, Florida's weather's not going to get a lot cooler.
I get it. Like, it's an advantage of whatever. Then leave the roof open that day if we're hosting somebody from the north. That's fine. But, I mean, seriously.
A random one-off against Samford. I'm closing the roof.
Yeah.
We're not sitting out here burning up. I know they played that at night, but
I'd love to see, I don't know how you research it, but I'd like to see how many more tickets you could estimate that you would sell if you were in a much more climate-cool environment. Doesn't even have to be 72. Give me 78, 80 degrees. The heat seeps in, so what? But it's not 110.
One thing's for sure, though. Again, the remedy with all of this, whether it's Tennessee or anybody else, is kicking ass. That's all it is. Go out and win a lot of games, and people will feel the fever. They want to be a part of that thing, this winning culture, this winning. And it's even better if you're fun. I mean, that's the hope with Kendall Briles, right? That it's not just that you score and you start winning some games. It's that you're having a blast doing it, lighting up scoreboards. All of a sudden, it's the greatest show on grass. I mean, let's go.
Yeah.
We'll see.
A little 4 hours action. I get it. It's an escape.
So let me ask you this, okay, because this is a good point, too. I'm of the mindset, again, there's not a lot you can do here. Those trends are going to continue to go down. There's just too many other options, and amenities are what they are, and you can only do so much to spruce up the in-game experience, the in-stadium experience. But do you think time is the bigger factor now because people feel like their time is so valuable that they could be doing so many other things?
It's that. It's not that the time is valuable. Time is always valuable. It's that you can substitute so much more.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I getting? Like, could you modernize a tailgate area to allow for better concession stands or restaurant presence or something along those lines to make it like a turnkey experience? People don't want to work for what they're doing anymore.
That's true.
That's a hard thing to overcome. They want all of the modern amenities at their beck and call.
They want to watch the game in their living room at the stadium.
Yes. That's precisely correct.
Precisely what they want to do. Yeah.
I think having shade and mandating to the ACC and saying we're not kicking off before X amount. Do what you will. Throw us on ESPN freaking you. You got the ACC network now. and then you build some kind of shade over one side of the stadium because you know where the sun
Yeah,
sets
it might work.
every
Might work.
freaking year.
Yeah.
Because those poor people on the visiting sidelines, my God.
Well, I know they're scared to death over there this year. I mean, they are scared to death. They need Willie to get this turned around. Attendance is going to be dreadful. If we lose that game, I'm saying it again, don't lose that game over in Jacksonville. Don't fool around and lose to Boise State. That's the first time we get to see you again after going 5-7, and you lose to Boise State. How many people are here for ULM? I know it's the home opener, but
block parties are not going to save you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a whole lot more.
Yeah, got to win games. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite, the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. He's gone! Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Some job boards make you sort through tons of the wrong resumes, which makes finding a great candidate like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's not smart. The smart way? ZipRecruiter. They actively find and invite qualified candidates to apply. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack. ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Back again and bigger and better. An all-new monster truck lineup, including Bigfoot. The Traxxas Monster Truck Tour, brought to you by Safety Clean. Bigfoot and more, plus freestyle motocross side-by-sides and quad wars, brought to you by Florida Motorsports. Advanced kids tickets from just $8 at TuckerCivicCenter.com. The box office, MonsterTruckTour.com, or charge at 850-583-4871. Subject to service fees. The Traxxas Monster Truck Tour, January 26th and 27th, Dell Tucker Civic Center.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the law office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the law office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
Hey, Jeff Cameron here, and it's the new year. What's your New Year's resolution? Well, if you're planning on being healthier, it starts with a good night's rest. You've heard me talk about the tossing and turning I was doing before, but now I wake up feeling great. It's amazing what a difference a good pillow makes. MyPillow had an amazing offer of a 4-pack special. It was such a rare deal at the time, but the good news is this. They've extended their very best offer ever. That's right. Go to MyPillow.com right now. Click on their end-of-the-year special, and here's what you'll find. The lowest price MyPillow has ever offered for their 4-pack, and it includes free shipping. Gets better. Their 60-day money-back guarantee has been extended through March the 1st. Best price ever, free shipping, extended money-back guarantee. What else do you need? Go get it. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the end-of-the-year special, enter my promo code, that's key, 979ESPN, and you'll get 2 premium MyPillows, 2 go-anywhere pillows. Nothing better than a restorative night of rest. Go to MyPillow.com to get it and enter my promo code 979ESPN.
This is Chris Kraft with news that is sure to change the car buying landscape in North Florida. My brother Peter and I are now the proud new owners of the Infinity dealership in Tallahassee, the all-new Kraft Infinity. As Mercedes-Benz dealers for over 25 years early in our careers, we know how to sell and service Highline vehicles the right way. At Kraft Infinity, our mission statement is simple: to provide our customers with a car buying experience that is unsurpassed in value, consideration for your time, and pure enjoyment. Finally, the Highline experience you deserve, and it's from the Kraft brothers. Infinity is much more than a brand name. It's a lifestyle and it's a statement. And at Kraft Infinity, Peter and I will go beyond your expectations in providing the best sales and service experience in Tallahassee. So come see us at the all-new Kraft Infinity, beyond your expectations, and brought to you by the Kraft brothers. Kraft Infinity, 3355 Capitol Circle Northeast, conveniently located between Home Depot and the I-10 flyover. Call 297-1488 or visit us on the web at craftinfinity.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
So, on the heels of the very, very controversial no call, there has been much discussion about what the league will do moving forward with the problems in officiating and correcting no calls, bad calls, whatever it might be, to the extent that we use replay, more, less, all of that. Did see an article written by Ed Bouchette in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette earlier, and Tom, it's amazing. I don't know if people just listen to this show and cop ideas and then write columns or however it works, but how long have we been saying this, and why does it always take something so simple so long to be uncovered? And Rooney, that would be Dan Rooney, had this idea and told Ed this many years ago when replay was in its infancy, but so have we on the Jeff Cameron Show forever and a day. And it was this: look, if you're going to try to get the calls right, you'll never get them all right because there is the human element. Human beings make mistakes, and ultimately a human has to make a decision. So you're going to still have mistakes. But the idea was simply this: add a member to each officiating crew and put him in a booth upstairs so he can watch the game on a TV screen and view the replays just like we do, but give him the authority, same as the officials on the field, to call penalties or to buzz down. They don't do that. They don't do that. Like, if you could discuss a call with the rest of the crew from upstairs there, looking at it on the monitor, right then and there, you could say, you missed this. This is a penalty. This is a blatant penalty. We can see it here in the booth. You buzz down. You can't throw the flag, obviously, like an official down on the field, but something akin to buzzing down immediately. That would have gotten that call right for sure. And, you know, however you want to define that, it has to be obvious, it has to be blatant, it has to be whatever it is. You can do that. And, you know, they do some of these things now, but this is such an easy thing. An official in the booth could have easily thrown a flag on the blatant pass interference penalty in New Orleans. That would have taken nothing. He could have waved off the flag on the phantom roughing. How quickly did we see that in the replay?
Sure.
But they called it, and you can't review it. But you got a guy, just a regular guy like you or me, watching the game going, no, man, he didn't hit him in the head. That's not a penalty. Let's go. And it takes 2 seconds.
Well, how about this for a radical idea? How about you get with, since it's the NFL, not college football, so you have resources here. You get with the TV trucks for the broadcast. You mandate a minimum amount of cameras, right? Camera feeds. And you can watch each individual matchup you want. Instead of having 9 officials or how many they have in the field, have 3 or 4. And then you have people assigned to watching these matchups on film.
Man, wow. A lot of manpower.
Well, is it, though? Because you're taking people off of the field, and all you're doing is you're creating essentially a little studio in each NFL press box or media level, right? And it has essentially the TV command center that the truck would. Yeah, you have to buy a couple extra TVs, but you wouldn't have something like this. I mean, either you scrap it all the way, right, and you go with the call on the field, and we just have to live with this ridiculous call, and it becomes a footnote in history like the 85 World Series, you know, safer out, that kind of thing. Or you invest in it and do it in a 21st century way.
Well, I think if you just start with something as simple as this, what we're talking about, I mean, just start with that. Just have a guy, because what have I said on the show for years?
Well, if a 62-year-old man, for example, is 2 hours into a game and he's running up and down the field, do you think he is in a position
No.
to make a good call in a split second the way he was for play one? How about if he's in a chair for the whole 3 hours?
Well, and I don't spend a lot of time. Yes, he blew that call. That official blew that. It was a no call. Obviously should have been a call. But I don't ever really get mad about that because the game is played at warp speed amongst the best athletes in the world, and there's chaos. But when you're at ground level, it's chaos.
But your official could look like Louis freaking Anderson.
Yeah.
Right?
Wouldn't matter at all.
And it wouldn't matter at all.
That's right. No, you got it. That's how you properly use replay. And, oh, by the way, they'll immediately ask this question. Well, would the official upstairs be involved in replay, able to authorize a review at any time? Would he be handling the way the call is now? Would you want the official upstairs to call holding or waive off holding penalties, per se? No, I don't think you overcomplicate it.
What I would like them to do is spot the football.
You better have that. It can't be the optical illusion. Like we see, a lot of times the angle on TV is not, in reality where he falls, you're not right down the line.
You don't have to review it every time. I'm just saying if he could have a direct patch into the umpire.
Be like, dude, you spotted that 2 yards before he
It just says, plus 37.5 or whatever. So come up with your codes for, fractions of a yard line. Or you got it. Or you got it, you're right, all the way. Go ahead, proceed with the play.
The good news about what just happened, it's fun to listen to the absurdities from New Orleans fans and politicians and others saying, they got to replay the game, replay the last 2 minutes, replay. No, stop it. Of course you're not going to do that. But what it has done is it signaled the NFL's movers and shakers, for lack of a better term, to look into something different. And we've been saying this for 2 years now. It seems to be getting worse. I don't know why necessarily, but it does seem to be getting worse. And this missed call and these problems this year with review and all of that has now prompted the NFL to look long and hard about what can they do. They can't have things like this happen at the end of championship games to where 2 riveting overtime games are overshadowed by 2 blatantly obvious poor calls or lack of calls. I mean, you have the phantom roughing on Brady, and then you have that no call on blatant pass interference.
I need a dictator is what I need. Somebody who can be in the booth, and if you want to make them famous or not, that's fine. But like for Championship Sunday, for example, let's just say you've got 2 senior officials. They're the ones that make the final rulings. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be on the field. It takes too damn long for the official on the field anyway to walk up, stop his conversation. Wait a minute, what number? Let me start the conversation again with my 3 other officials. Hang on, I'm going to pat the microphone. Wait, are there 2 fouls in the play? Okay, do you want to decline that? What do you want to do? And then you finally get the call, but we already know what the call is. You know what I mean? Like, we get it. It's going to be pass interference. You motioned it already. Do we have to go through these extra 10 and 20-second exercises every time there's a penalty?
What I would tell you is either embrace technology all the way and figure out the right way to do this or get rid of it altogether.
That's what
it's one or the other, right?
Yeah. Yep. You could make it fun, too. I was joking with you off the air last time we discussed this. You know the silhouette guy in Deal or No Deal? That could be the guy who's watching the replays, and it's just like the phone rings instead of a flag goes and the music starts playing. Howie Mandel comes out.
Oh no!
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, on the offense or the defense?
People are like, what's going on?
Okay.
No. One thing you got to do in the NFL, by the way,
the infraction is this.
Yeah,
holding.
You're all in on this.
Right after this commercial break.
The one thing they got to do. And it wouldn't have affected the end of the New Orleans LA game. But can we please make interference a 15-yard penalty? We got to stop with 60-yard penalties. This has got to stop. The 45-yard, it's too penal. What are we doing?
Well, I would do something a little bit more complicated that would probably take more time. But, like a clear path foul. I'd award a spot foul if it's egregious. Like you're falling down, you grab somebody's ankle to prevent them from. So it's a spot foul at that point. It's a 50-yard penalty, not 15. But for most other calls, it's a 15. Yeah. I know. You're asking these people who can't sort out a basic first down, or they take out a card to put against the football on the chain. Was that Steratore did that last year?
Mm-hmm.
It's like here's a cardboard card.
That was awesome. By the way,
I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
Meanwhile, Goodell, like 10 years ago, brags that he could put chips in the ball. Oh, really?
We're still waiting on that one. Chips in the pylons. Chips on. Oh, and Jimbo wants his laser.
And that should make the ball explode. Who was that said that? Was that you or Corey?
I don't remember, but it was great. It wasn't
like the ball explodes if it goes over the laser.
If it goes over the laser. Awesome. That's awesome. But you make the interference call 15 yards, not 57, where guys purposely underthrow the receivers these days. Really, and they do it really well.
Yeah.
They're either going to have the guy make the play, he's going to come back and make the play, or it's going to be interference, and they know that. So it's now an actual part of the plan.
Wouldn't it be okay? So for it's being built for the viewer at home. I think the NFL is doing this in more earnest than college football. To follow up on that part of the discussion, right? The NFL is trying to make the TV part of it that much better. Well, what if you synced up chips with the field? You made the field smart, like it's a smart grid.
Smart field,
right? And so you can figure out forward progress of football, and like there's a little graphic on the screen that shows you where the spot is before they even spot the football. Things like that.
Also, since we're simplifying things, you're complicating things, I'm simplifying things. Anything that's fumbled out of the end zone is not automatically a touchback for the other team. We're not doing that nonsense. If I get tackled at the 1 and I'm reaching for the pylon and it goes out the back of the end zone, screw you. It's not your ball and you don't get it out. That's dumb.
It's at the position of the fumble, or would you penalize them in some way? I wouldn't penalize them.
I wouldn't penalize them
I'd say
at
it's
all.
from the spot of the fumble. So
Yeah.
the 1.
Yeah. What are we doing? Why was that ever a rule? It's ridiculous.
That's a great question.
Who thought of that? Hey, so if a joker tries to reach the ball out and he can't maintain control, screw him.
It was probably a guy who hates celebrations. He's like, you know what I hate? What do you hate? Well, I hate when guys try to reach out and be all fancy about reaching it over the pylon, and I think we should penalize them. I think that's a great idea.
Sometimes they don't even have full possession, and you know what I'd do? I'd give it to the other team. Let them take it out like it's touchback. Well, all right, Steve. Let's vote on it.
You got touchback.
Touchback, huh?
Yeah.
Screw them. Tired of that. You better possess the hell out of that ball if you're going to be a hot dog.
The ball is your life. It needs to be protected.
Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Consulting, Data Set Ready, Eck Realty, Fleming Consulting Services, Florida Pro Computing, Golden Corral, Independent Colleges and Universities of Florida, Kiever McKee Engineering, Nuvita Weight Loss, Park Avenue Inn, Parker Services, and Ricardo's.
The Chamber is proud to support over 1,400 local businesses representing over 60,000 employees. For information on how your business can be a part of the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce, contact Corey Melton at 850-521-3104. Once again, contact Corey Melton at 850-521-3104.
Everybody knows that the holiday season is also known as engagement season. Now that the season's over, it's time for some planning. Social Catering has several options for your wedding event and catering needs. They're Tallahassee's largest catering company, and they manage event spaces at venues like Madison Social, Township, and The Gathering. They can plan all of your wedding events, engagement parties, bridal brunches, rehearsals, even wedding receptions. No new rock on the finger? Hey, doesn't matter. Whatever the event, they've got you covered. For more details, email matt@madisonsocial.com. Again, that's matt@madisonsocial.com.
Hey, sports fans, who's on your Mount Rushmore of baseball? I'm going with Ruth, Cobb, Aaron, and Mantle. Football, I've got Bradshaw, Peyton, Montana, and Brady. In basketball, Jabbar, Jordan, Bird, and LeBron. This debate could go on and on, but when it comes to the Mount Rushmore of personal injury law in Tallahassee, the choice is clear. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Recently voted Tallahassee's best law firm, so avoid the underdog and go with the favorite. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey.
Hi, I'm President John Thrasher. I'm here with some of our outstanding marching chiefs. They've been invited to an incredible opportunity, and they need your help. Next June, the marching chiefs will travel to France and represent both the state of Florida and the United States at the 75th anniversary of the D-Day invasion on the beaches of Normandy. As both an Army veteran and the president of the university dedicated to student veteran success, I know what a meaningful opportunity this is for these talented musicians. But experiences like this can be out of reach for many students. So today, I'm asking for your support so we can send as many of our marching chiefs as possible to this monumental event. Visit give.fsu.edu/Normandy. Thank you, and go Noles!
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm John Ryder. James Harden is on a historic pace with 21 straight games, scoring at least 30 points, including a career-high 61 on Wednesday night against the Knicks. And Harden and the Rockets take on the Raptors tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN TV. Will James Harden's minutes played end up being an issue? ESPN NBA senior writer Zach Lowe.
I don't think so, only because when he plays, he's awesome. That's the most important thing. And if he's awesome in the playoffs every game when there are no back-to-backs, that's great.
Sure.
These last four have been a little strange because, before that it was he's not going to play back-to-backs. These last four raise your alarm bells. And they're also there's clearly a different set of rules for Kawhi than there is for the rest of the players on the Raptors. Maybe that creates chemistry issues. I don't know. And their whole team has really, in the scheme of things, barely played together. And they're going to need to get rhythm, before April.
The Westgate Las Vegas Superbook has set James Harden's over-under for points scored for tonight's game against Toronto at 41.5. That ties the record for the highest over-under point total they have ever posted. Rockets head coach Mike D'Antoni also says that Chris Paul will not play tonight against the Raptors, but is close to returning from a hamstring injury. 76ers guard Jimmy Butler seeing a specialist for his sprained wrist that he's missed the last two games. He's doubtful for Saturday's game at Denver.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for this week, and a fine libations Friday to you and yours. Yeah. All right. Loosey-goosey. Former Seminole. You like the way I said Seminole? Seminole. Javian Elliott, from walk-on to occasional starter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pretty damn cool story. Will join us later this hour. You're going to want to hear that. You know that story, but now you get to hear him tell it and talk about his days in high school there in Panama City and not getting picked up by anybody despite being a great wide receiver and defensive back, and then really spending quite a bit of time away from football, which is seldom seen, by the way. You do hear the stories about walk-ons making it or developing late, guys who go play basketball or football and then grow 4 inches and gain 100 pounds or something and transform their bodies and become this thing that nobody expected, or that they somehow got overlooked because they're from a small town and so somebody took a flyer and let them walk on and it turns out they're 3-year starter. You hear about these stories, but what you don't normally hear about is somebody finishing high school and not playing football at all for 3 years and then getting into it as a walk-on and making their way into the NFL. That's rarely seen, so pretty cool.
Into the NFL. That's the thing. There's a lot of walk-on stories.
Oh, sure, plenty of them.
But the NFL is reserved, man. It is.
Yes.
The scouts will be all too happy to tell you on Pro Day. The NFL is reserved for the best.
By the way, that is the most pompous, outside of being anything involved with people on the PGA Tour. That kind of pompous is seldom seen, man. Compared to, I'm blown away every time I talk to an NFL scout over at an FSU practice or at Pro Day. Probably the biggest a-holes you've ever met. Every one of them. Never met a cool guy. Not one. Not one. You'd think of at some point. I'm sure there's one listening now going, that's not true,
and
Jeff.
they will reach out now.
Oh,
but
yeah,
yes.
now they will. But I'm serious. Never have I met an NFL scout that wasn't an a-hole. Every time. And they fancy themselves to be something that you should bow down to. Like, you're a scout, dude. Go get in your car and drive 16 hours, which is what you're about to do.
Which is why they're an a-hole. Yeah.
Over and over and over again. Knowles, speaking of traveling, are on their way to Coral Gables.
I'll bet you there's a part of Bill Belichick that wishes he was always a scout.
No, he likes breaking down film in darkness by himself.
But he likes, I think, the road. I think he'd like the road.
Maybe, so he can think about football plays.
Mm-hmm. How this guy could fit into a grand scheme.
Yeah. I would like to sit and watch film with him, though. That would be fascinating. He'd have a blast with that. Because did you see the clip I sent? Did you go?
I've not looked at it yet, no.
He's in his element, man. You can tell. Well, Education of a Coach. That book reveals that from the time he was 8, 9, 10 years old, watching film with his dad, breaking it down, sitting in there in the offices with the greatest coaches of all time, 13 years old, coming up with a scout, with a game plan, and having the coaches use it. Having, like, Bill Walsh and people go, yeah, that'll work. That's good. That's good. We'll use this element of that. That's insane. He was born to do that. So I guess not so shocking that the Patriots are favored to win another Super Bowl.
Well, yes.
The Knowles traveling to Coral Gables, second straight Sunday ACC matchup, 6 o'clock at night. Is that right? Man, I don't know why I don't like the 6 o'clock matchup at the Watso Center. It
sounds like the Billy Joel game.
Oh, yeah. Well, you and I made each other laugh for an hour just doing that. What's the matter with?
Where did they come up with that?
I don't know, but it makes me laugh too. FSU leads the all-time series because, of course, we do.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
46-36. The annual series began way back in 1950. But then, of course, remember, Miami had to shut down their program from 1972 to 1985. Good Lord, what a blight on a program's history. We just can't sustain it. We're going to have to get rid of the program. Larrañaga has done a good job. He's led them to wins in 8 of the 16 games played against FSU. So 500 record against FSU is Larrañaga. That has turned into quite the series, and we won the earlier meeting this year. It was an ugly, ugly half of basketball to start this game. If you recall, we shot 39% from the field. They shot 29%. We went 3 of 15 from beyond the arc against their 1-2-2 zone. We decided, let's hoist those threes. They're not going in, but let's keep taking them. Shoot or shoot, Tom.
That we did.
They went 2 of 10 from beyond the arc in that first half. We were 3 of 15. They were 2 of 10. If you are a pure shooter, if you enjoy the art of shooting, if you make shots, get buckets in your pickup games, whatever it might be, you watch that half of basketball and went, I'm sick to my stomach. Look at these 2 slappies.
A lot of open threes, too, especially for Miami, as memory serves.
Yeah, and if you remember, Miami had the lead with 14 minutes to play in the game, but we went on a 21-5 run, and during that run, kind of spurred by Raekwon Gray and P.J. Savoy, which was maybe the last time I said something nice about P.J. Savoy. During that run, we went 9 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc, and took a 58-45 lead with 7 minutes to play.
PJ hit a baseline 2-point jumper and then hit a 3. Back-to-back possessions, I think it was. That did key that whole sequence.
Also, that was the first time we began to get comfortable with David Nichols. He had 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting, if you recall, and we were like, okay.
Huge bounce back from when he looked overwhelmed against Virginia.
And the Savoy thing was he came off the bench for the first time during that game, and that was nice because we were like, okay, that's your role. That's what you do. By the way, if you're wondering where we sit currently, Miami is 1-5 in the ACC. They have struggled mightily. By the way, they are also at home just 1-2. So, I mean, it's not like they have a home court advantage. Florida State sits at 22nd in the RPI, 34 in the net. Now, the net rankings are through January 23rd. They do not include the updated rankings as a result of the games from last night, for example. But it is fascinating. I mean, the net likes us.
Yeah, they like our schedule is what they like. Schedule's going to get weaker as we go these next couple of weeks, and we'll see how that impacts it, especially if we lose a game. But you got to win. Got to do a lot of winning here.
Well, at the end of the day, 5 days off since the Clemson win on Tuesday. Do we see something better from Mann? Do we see something better from Forrest? Do we see something maybe just, who knows, will Phil Kofer suit up? I don't know. I cannot get a feel for whether or not I should be all doom and gloom. And part of me thinks that, guys, I'm not going to try to sell hope here because these are injuries that aren't going to go anywhere, and we're going to have real problems the rest of the way, and our season has been sabotaged by something that nobody could have done anything about, which is injury. Because there's a part of me that does feel that way. Like, I don't get a real good sense Phil Kofer is on the verge of hitting that court again. And if he doesn't play in this game, but more importantly, the one after, Georgia Tech, if he doesn't play in either one of those two games, I don't know that he plays the rest of the year. And I'm not a doctor, and I'm not hearing from the doctors over there, but he's already missed a ton of time, and he didn't look to be walking with any degree of certainty.
Yeah, if you're day-to-day and you've got a week and a half's time.
I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
That's disconcerting. And I know Trent Forrest's injury to the toe is not going to get better because that requires surgery. So you got to hope that Phil can come back. Forrest is going to be hampered the rest of the year. That hurts us. But if that's all you got, but you get Mann back healthy at some point, Kofer comes back and plays, you could still be okay. But if all three of those guys are going to have lingering or permanent damage done and they can't get out there and play, we're not going to go very far.
Well, Fee would have to play 25, 30 minutes a night every night. He'd need to be available on nights that even when he wants to take a dumb foul, he doesn't. He has to be out there for you. Not as a platoon player.
I think if you can get a win here, a road win, and you at some point you get that, obviously you get a midweek bye coming up, you rest up, and then you're hunkered down. You're 3-4 in the ACC with a road win here. You go to 15-5, and you're just inching closer to a passable resume, something around 500 in the ACC, and just hope you can get right for the tournament. The NCAA tournament. I don't care about the ACC tournament.
Got to see more shots go down. I mean, it was
refreshing the other night.
It was refreshing, especially in the first half. I get it that we didn't play great defense, but I think that set the tone. Is that a lot of guys were starting to feel good about their outside game, and they weren't afraid to shoot because you can see it clear as day in our body language when we are afraid to shoot the basketball. And it seems to happen all or nothing with this squad. It's not like one guy has a bad night. They either all do or they all don't.
Yeah, you're right. The path to the tournament is to win your remaining 6 games at home and to garner this road win. You get to 3 wins now, and then you win all your home games. That gets you to 9. But you got to win on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because you see another road game that you love? I mean,
do we play Wake on the road?
Go check
I'll
that.
go look
That's
at the schedule.
Really late in the year. But, yeah, I mean, we don't play well on the road. We don't get road wins all that often. This is an eminently winnable road game with the lack of depth for Miami. You got a real opportunity here.
Well, yeah, I remember when we were breaking down this pack of the schedule, I said, you got to get 3. You got to get 3 here out of the 4. Yes, Wake on the road is the final game
of the season.
Yeah.
You don't want to have that one be the one, right?
Yeah, hopefully they quit by then. The other roadies are Clemson, North Carolina, new. Georgia Tech on the road. It could be. But, I mean, that's like the first of 58 wins that game. And Syracuse, and I don't think so. Not the way they're playing right now.
Not the way they're playing right now. So, no, this is a chance.
And that is not in chronological order. Don't write that down, people. It's completely out of order. So.
Golden opportunity. Just like MyPillow. MyPillow.com. The 4-pack special. Keep on keeping on. Sleep comfortably. You get 4 of these suckers. 2 go-anywhere pillows, 2 regular-size pillows. All with free shipping. That's a good thing. Extended money-back guarantee all the way through the end of March. And like I say, they hold their form. You can wash them, you can dry them, doesn't matter. They'll hold their form. And it's the perfect level there. Not too steep on your neck, but you also don't sink down too much. Just right. Plus, they stay cool during the evenings. I like it. You can get one now using my promo code, 979ESPN. Actually, more than one. You get a 4-pack. 4-pack special. Click on it. Use the promo code 979ESPN. That's 979ESPN. MyPillow.com.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
We're back. Catch Atlanta Braves baseball all spring and summer long on Tallahassee Sports Monster 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You can do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Just like football, when it comes to the court of law, you're going to need a solid defense. I'm Michael D. Blank, attorney with the Law Office of Jose Fernandez in Tallahassee. At the Law Office of Jose Fernandez, there is never an upfront fee, and if we don't recover, then you don't pay anything. Our team is dedicated to handling all types of accident, injury, negligence, malpractice, and wrongful death cases. If you're unable to come to us, we can come to you day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, for your free consultation today. The Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid until you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. JRFinjury.com. Go Noles.
Hi, I'm Chris York with Monogram Art. While our name mentions monograms, we are a lot more than that. We offer a full line of corporate apparel to businesses and organizations, and we carry clothing brands such as Cutter & Buck, Nike Golf, Port Authority, and caps from Richardson, Outdoor Cap, Ahead, Yupong, and many more. We have the ability to create custom embroidered apparel that your employees will be proud to wear. So swing by our showroom at 2522 Capitol Circle Northeast or find us online at monogramart.com. Let us help you wear your brand.
Yo, where the hell are you?
Dude, I'm here, sitting at the bar. Where are you?
The hell you are? I've been here for 30 minutes.
Erroneous. BS. I've been sitting at this bar for 3 hours drinking pecan whiskey.
We said Pensacola, dude.
Why would we meet there? We're old men, and that's for the kids. Hashtag Northsiders.
Did you just hashtag me?
Hashtag hell yes.
See you in 30. Get the mahi and a beer.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Tallahassee, thank you for another great year. Tallahassee truly is a Nissan town. Because of that, Nissan has come out swinging in 2019 with January savings like we've never seen before. With up to $5,000 off of 2019 Maximas, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Up to $10,000 off of 2019 Armadas and Titans. You want to save even more? We have a few remaining of most 2018 models that will save you up to an additional $2,500. But wait, it gets better. With our Nissan 0 and savings event, Kraft Nissan has 0% interest on 14 models, plus 0 down and 0 payments until after April tax day. And our hottest models, the all-new 2019 Altima and the 2019 Rogue, starting at just $21,900. And the all-new Nissan Kick starts at only $18,800 with available 1.9 interest for 60 months. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much. Way too much. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Prices include dealer preparation charge, interest rates with approved credit.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Happy Libations Friday, everybody. This is a cool story. Many of you know it, and we have a chance to talk to him right now about it, in fact. But Florida State's own and current Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Javian Elliott, joins us on the program right now. How are you, good sir? How's life treating you?
Doing great, man. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Well, listen, I covered you here at Florida State, and a lot of people love that story as you're a former walk-on and now playing in the league. I mean, it's crazy to think from going to, being a walk-on to picking off Cam Newton, right? But all that stuff in between, the crux of that story is amazing, whether it's you working at Lids, whether it's your dad pushing the dream, and then you obviously having to come realize this. Take us back to the beginning in Panama City.
Well, like you said, man, I went to high school in Panama City, Rutherford High School, and, I really wasn't recruited like that. Very underrated. Didn't have any stars coming out of high school, no scholarships. And, I didn't know where football would take me. I had a passion for football since I was a kid. I've been playing since I was 4. And, I felt like my dreams were shut down. And, and that's what pushed me to further my aspirations to play football.
You keep pushing, right? Well, but let's go back to Rutherford High for a second. You just referenced it. You were all district. You were all county. You were a star receiver, a star defensive back. Did you eventually figure at some point somebody's going to offer me a scholarship? How come the offers aren't coming in? At that time, I'm sure they told you were undersized. But what was it you were hearing back from schools as to why a player of your magnitude wasn't getting offers?
To be honest, I didn't hear anything, and that's what confused me. I would be around. I would see other guys on ESPN, and I would see, similar credentials, and I'd be like, what's different between me and them? And it was pretty much just, I'm a firm believer in God, so I know it's part of God's plan. But, at the time, I didn't know. I was like, I'm making plays. I'm doing good in games. Why aren't I getting offers? But, I'm glad it happened that way because it made me work harder, and I'm glad that, it may sound funny, but I am glad that I didn't get any scholarship offers because it just pushed that hunger in me and made me want to go harder when I had my opportunity.
Did you know your dad was calling around? Did you know that he was trying? He was an advocate. Obviously, your dad is your greatest supporter, and you've got great family support. But did you know that secretly behind the scenes he was he's calling Jimbo Fisher's office trying to get you a scholarship?
Yeah, he did. He told me it was a long process though. After high school, I went three seasons without playing football.
Right.
So. It was a long process and it was a long journey, but I did know that things were happening behind the scenes.
So when you were at TCC and you're working at Lids and you're doing that stuff, at any point did you think, well, I guess maybe football's not for me, or were you continuously training that entire time that you weren't actively playing football?
I wasn't necessarily training to play football. I would, go play basketball at the gym or play, flag football or something like that. But, I missed the game so much. During that time period, I can be walking around campus and just smelling the freshly cut grass just reminded me of playing football. Just walking around campus, I missed the little things about football. Yeah, of course, I missed making plays and, being in that locker room environment. But I miss the things that most people wouldn't even think about as a regular person when it comes to football. And that's what helped me out a lot.
Well, take us through our time here at Florida State, and whether it's Coach Kelly or Coach Elliott or whoever has a belief in you and you get an opportunity as time goes by as a walk-on. Eventually, you're making plays, and you became a feel-good story that was known throughout the country, certainly here in Tallahassee. But take us through that. At what point did you begin to realize, I got an opportunity to get in games? I got a chance to make plays. I'm going to see this thing through.
Right, like leading up to the time where I walked on, there was doubts in my mind because these guys are 5-star recruits. They have all of these labels behind their names, and it's like, I don't have anything. I'm just the guy that's trying to walk on. But, my first practice at Florida State, I had got a pick 6 at practice, and whether it meant something to the coaches or whether it meant something to the players, it meant something to me because on my very first day as a walk-on, nobody knows who I am, and I catch a pick and I run and score a touchdown. It's like, that was like a sign that I can really go in here with full confidence and go in here and make plays.
Yeah, you're out there making plays. Did you take it all the way back, and did you celebrate?
No, I didn't celebrate because, it's my first day, but I did use that as momentum to, launch forward, during spring ball.
Who was it intended for?
Oh man, that was my very first practice at Florida State. I don't remember who it was intended for, but it was,
funny.
It was something that I do remember as far as me making that play.
Yeah, so
the very first play, very first practice.
So that's awesome. So you get through, and obviously that turns into something in your time at Florida State, but you go undrafted. And at what point do you hear from teams? When did you hear from the Bucs?
So the situation with the Bucs, it was phase 3 of OTAs. Like the draft had already went by. They already had their guys. They already had their undrafted free agent signings. I got called in for a workout, and it was just an opportunity for me to go out there and showcase what I did at Pro Day, because that's what a workout is. It's pretty much another Pro Day workout, and I just went out there and I did my best. I gave my all, and to be honest, what a lot of people don't know is that they actually turned me down. They actually went and signed someone else, or they went and worked out somebody else, and they had took him that was in the workout with me. And I was on the road, man, and I was actually kind of frustrated, embarrassed, and things just happened in my favor. Like I said, I'm a firm believer in God, and they called me. Like, I'm 30 minutes outside of town, getting ready to drive back to Tallahassee, and they were like, "Hey, something happened. Is it okay if you do you want to come back?" And I'm like, duh, of course I want to come back. So that's how I got on with the Bucs, and a lot of people don't know that, man. It was so many ups and downs, but it was meant to be. It was meant to be. And ever since I signed that day after my workout, like you said, I'm going into my 4th year now. So
yeah, let me ask you this, Javen. I'm curious. And by the way, Buccaneers defensive back Javen Elliott joins us now. How nervous are you in those workouts? I mean, this is make or break when they call you into a workout like that. Were you nervous at all, or did you think I got nothing to lose?
Yeah, of course. It goes both ways. I was nervous because, once again, it's the same process of me walking on to Florida State, being an undrafted free agent, not only being undrafted, but coming in weeks later after the draft. It was like, oh, these other guys, they have a first-round pick, they have this guy, and it's like, I have that in my head, but at the same time, it's like, just go play football, man. You've been here before. You went to a top school. You went to a very elite program at Florida State. That should be plenty of confidence right there. So, that's kind of what I fed off of.
So you end up basically serving on the practice squad as a backup nickelback. What's it like on the practice squad, waiting to get your opportunity? How difficult is that?
Well, my first year, I was on practice squad for half the season, and then I got bumped up. It was necessary, in my opinion, because I was a rookie, I was undrafted, and mind you, I only played 7, maybe 8 games in college.
Yeah.
So, every day my mindset was to come out there and get better each and every day, work on my technique, work on everything I need to work on. That way, when my time comes for me to get bumped up to the active roster and play games, I would be ready, and that's exactly what happened. My first game I played in was against the Chargers my rookie year. It was, I don't remember exactly what week it was, but it was pretty much like week 12, maybe week 13. But that's the things that I appreciate about the practice squad that year was that I had time to work on getting better. And you have to take advantage of the opportunity.
Take us through the moment they tell you that you're being moved up from the practice squad. What's that like? What do they tell you?
Well, they kind of just throughout the week, they was like, hey, it's a possibility that you'll get bumped up. We have some things going on with the roster, so just be ready. But that's where all that hard work comes into play on the practice squad and from Florida State, and just all that comes into play because once your time comes, I didn't get too excited. I didn't get overly excited. It was like, hey, it's time to handle business. Now it's time for me to go out here and play and show that I deserve to be here. That's the way I took it.
How much more advanced, by the way, I'm just curious, I've always wondered about this, how much more advanced is NFL coaching? Not that you're going to dog anybody, but NFL coaching versus college coaching, or is it all pretty much the same? How much of a difference is there?
Well, I can only speak for my experience at Florida State. So I got coached really great at Florida State. Like the details, the standard that they had, the expectations that we had at Florida State it reminds me of the NFL. It prepared me for the NFL. Like, man, when I tell you the practices were ran the same, everything that we did at Florida State prepared me for the NFL. That's why I believe that I'm still here today, because I was able to make an easy transition. The playbook was hard at Florida. The playbook was difficult in college. The playbook was difficult in the NFL. Not necessarily the same schemes, but, it's the concepts that made me excel in the NFL.
Well, I got to imagine that your experience, and we're talking with Buccaneers defensive back Javian Elliott, former Florida State Seminole too, of course. I got to imagine your experience as a walk-on and your perseverance and your years of kind of having to work for everything makes it easier when something like what happened to you early on. You get waived and then brought back. I mean, a lot of people, that would be devastating, but your perseverance is such that you probably handled that fairly well. Or am I wrong about that? Were you nervous that you weren't going to be invited back?
No, I wasn't really nervous that I wouldn't be invited back. Some things, with the NFL is different with college as far as, other teams being able to pick you up and stuff like that. I always wanted to stay with Tampa because I felt like, that was the best opportunity for me. So I wasn't really nervous, because if I was to get cut, I would come back like the next day or something like that.
You and Jameis sit around watching Florida State games together?
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course. All the time we watch the games together, and we actually made it. If we had like a bye week or something like that, or we went to the FSU Bama game.
Right.
I went to the Ole Miss game, and I went to one of the FSU homecoming games. So anytime I get a chance to come up, like a bye week or a weekend off or something like that, I always want to come back and support.
We could use you right now, man.
Yeah, I believe it's a rebuild. It's a rebuild right now. So
yeah.
Great. I think greater is coming.
I hope so. Final couple of things here, Javian. I got to ask you, what is the biggest difference in terms of the level of play, the significant difference between college football, even at the highest level, like in Florida State and the ACC, to the pros? What is the one thing, if you were telling somebody about your experiences, that are drastically different with the level of play?
The thing that's different to me is in college, your schedule, say you have your ACC play and then you have your outer conference play, but you might play a team like when I was there, I think we played like ULM or something like that. Schools like that. Mm-hmm. No disrespect to those schools like that, because they work hard and they do their thing there too. But in the NFL, there are no
there are no ULMs
games like that. Yeah, there are no smaller schools or but it's week in and week out. You're playing somebody great across from you. You're playing somebody great, like whether on our schedule we're playing the Panthers one week and then the next week we might be playing the Patriots. Like, it's every week in, week out, you're playing a great team. Like, even though the records might not show for great teams, but like the NFL is a week-to-week league. You know, you never know. You never know who's going to decide to show up and play that day.
Take us through the pick of Cam Newton.
Oh man, man, it happened so fast. But it was like a dream come true. You know, I remember exactly how it happened. And when I caught the ball, I know I had got hit, and I was kind of stumbling. And in my head, it was like, just don't fall. Like that was it. Just don't fall. Like just run. And you know, it was, man. I can't explain it, but the zone that I was in, man, it's such a wonderful feeling, and I thank God for that. You know, because of how far I came and how far, you know, everything that I've been through, and to know that this is still only the beginning is such a great feeling.
Well, we all love watching you, and it's been a great story and a fun thing to follow, your journey that is, and keep up the good work. Both me and my producer are from down there, diehard Bucks fans, and we're both Noles, so it's great to watch you and to see your perseverance pay off. It's a great story for people to emulate as well. And I want to thank you for coming on, and best of luck. We'll talk to you again down the line.
All right, man. I want to thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. You take care, okay?
All right, you too.
All right. That's Javian Elliott. Of course, you guys remember the story of Javian Elliott while he's here at Florida State, but it's gone on to be a great story in the NFL as well. And Tom and I are, you know, Bucks fans, so we watch him. And I was smiling ear to ear after that pick against Carolina.
Yeah,
we texted each other, but that was pretty cool.
It's it's fitting though. You know, if he was going to make it in the NFL, he was going to make it that route. You know, you couldn't go from walk on to draft pick. Not this story. I mean, it's pretty amazing to think that you surround yourself in a place like Florida State too, with a good program. The stakes are higher. I mean, if he's away from the game of football, there's still something maybe subconsciously, I don't know, pulling him towards a program like Florida State, because you could have found a scholarship offer somewhere else by going and trying out. If you're good enough to play at Florida State and play well, for a half a season,
you could have been somewhere. But you know, the thing is, even to this day, Tom, he's 5'11", 175.
Yeah,
he's a little dude. And I gotta imagine he weighed less than that in high school, obviously. So coming out of Panama City, now his dad was a diehard Nole, and he has, you know, the famous picture of him in his Florida State jersey when he's like 4 years old, standing on the hood of the car. It's a great picture. I still remember looking at that. But so he was a Florida State fan. There was that element.
Yeah.
But it's got to suck to be all state, all district, all whatever, and nobody's looking at you.
Well, listen, you don't want to, and I don't want to make this like this is always going to happen, because outliers are outliers, and that's what Javian's story is. It's the story of an outlier. But you look at a guy like him or Keyshawn Helton, who we offered the last moment last year, last possible moment before signing day, or a guy like Lewis Givens back in the day. Some memorable walk-ons that weren't specialists, but there's something about the heart, and I think that's the thing at the NFL level that he was more prepared for than maybe some guys who are 4 and 5 stars, go to big-time programs, and they're told no for the first time in their life when they're 22, 23 years old.
Stunning, yeah.
He'd been told no a lot in his life, so he was prepared for the adversity that some star players aren't when they have difficulties and adversity for the first time when they get to the pro level.
Well, it's like I said, I brought up to him being waived. You know, he got waived by the Bucks. First of all, he got told no. Then he gets a call back in the story he just told us. 30 minutes later, he's turning around the car, and then he gets signed. Then he gets waived, and then he's brought back. Then he's on the practice squad for the first 11 weeks then of like the 17 season, and he gets called up. There was a promotion in November.
Try being this guy's accountant, you know.
I know. And he gets called up to play for the Bucks in the last 6 games of the year. He only got 1 start that year. Then he made the active roster to begin the season this past year, and obviously played all 16 games and got just 1 more start.
Yeah.
But you know, he's playing in these games.
But there's a ton of film out there, so if the Bucks do have to make a roster crunch decision, especially with a new coach and Todd Bowles coming in, you have enough of a resume out there. It's not a blind tryout anymore. You're in the system, so to speak.
Really cool. It's a great story, and I'm glad we got to bring it to you today. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
All over the Green Bay Packers, 31-24, thanks to the play of running back Terrell Davis, who would grab MVP honors. It'd be the first of back-to-back Super Bowl wins for the Broncos, and would give John Elway his first win in the big game after losing 3 in a row during the 80s.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You can do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
Completing our descent and will arrive in TLH shortly.
Oh, I'm so happy to be home.
Once we land, you can take off again with savings from the City of Tallahassee.
What do you mean?
The City of Tallahassee offers rebates for up to $300 in savings when you purchase energy-efficient appliances.
Wow, that would be a huge help.
The city also offers free energy audits.
What's an energy audit?
It's when an energy auditor comes to your home at the time that's convenient for you, examines your structure, and checks your energy and water systems. Then, they recommend changes that could save you energy, water, and money. The city also offers free ceiling insulation grants for qualifying customers.
Man, the city sure offers a lot of ways to save money. Once we land, I would check out all of the products and services the city has to offer. This makes me proud to call Tallahassee home.
Thank you for flying with us today. Don't forget that you can take off with savings with the City of Tallahassee. From rebates for Energy Star appliances to insulation grants, you can save energy, water, and money. Visit talgov.com for more information.
With the Bloomberg Business of Sports Report, I'm Michael Barr. Joe Montana, the former Hall of Fame quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, is betting on the newest California gold rush, cannabis. Montana, who founded a venture fund in 2015, took part in a $75 million fundraising round for Caliva, one of the top-selling brands of marijuana products in California's legal market. Caliva says former Yahoo CEO Carol Bartz also put money into the company and is joining its board of directors. Hannah Storm and Andrea Kramer had so much fun in their first season calling NFL games on Amazon Prime that they are coming back for an encore. Amazon announced that the veteran announcing duo will return next season to call the Thursday night package on Amazon's Prime Video service. The WNBA team, the New York Liberty, has a new owner. The league announced that billionaire Joe Tsai and his family purchased the team from the Madison Square Garden Company. And that is a Bloomberg Business of Sports report. I'm Michael Barr.
It either is or it isn't. When it comes down to it, that's all that really matters when choosing a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. It's either certified by Mercedes-Benz factory-trained technicians, or it isn't. It's either backed by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 5 years, or it isn't. It's absolute confidence in 30,000 precision parts, or it isn't. The Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales Event, now through February 28th, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Come in today and we'll help cover your first month's payment. Offer available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. There are those who settle for nothing less. For them, the choice is simple. It's either up to Mercedes-Benz standards, or it isn't. It's flawlessly maintained, or it isn't. It's either Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned, or it isn't.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on credit towards your first month's payment and certified pre-owned warranties.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm John Ryder. James Harden is on a historic pace with 21 straight games, scoring at least 30 points, including a career-high 61 on Wednesday night against the Knicks. And Harden and the Rockets take on the Raptors tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN TV. Will James Harden's minutes played end up being an issue? ESPN NBA senior writer Zach Lowe.
I don't think so, only because when he plays, he's awesome. That's the most important thing. And if he's awesome in the playoffs every game when there are no back-to-backs, that's great.
Sure.
These last four have been a little strange because, before that it was he's not going to play back-to-backs. These last four raise your alarm bells. And they're also there's clearly a different set of rules for Kawhi than there is for the rest of the players on the Raptors. Maybe that creates chemistry issues. I don't know. And their whole team has really, in the scheme of things, barely played together. And they're going to need to get rhythm, before April.
The Westgate Las Vegas Superbook has set James Harden's over-under for points scored for tonight's game against Toronto at 41.5. That ties the record for the highest over-under point total they have ever posted. Rockets head coach Mike D'Antoni also says that Chris Paul will not play tonight against the Raptors, but is close to returning from a hamstring injury. 76ers guard Jimmy Butler seeing a specialist for his sprained wrist that he's missed the last 2 games. He's doubtful for Saturday's game at Denver.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill. Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachian Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Wrapping it up, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Don't forget, as we say goodbye, Rory Chirac says hello for Rattler Review. Good show. That's coming up next. Tomorrow, college basketball. We've got Kentucky and
Kansas. Yeah, Big 12
right.
SEC.
Yeah. Well, Kentucky-Kansas action doesn't suck. What time does that begin, Tom Wayne?
I believe tip-off is shortly after 6, which means we'd have coverage at 5:45, and then 8:30 NBA action, and that is Golden State Boston.
All right, good game. So we've got a lot of good basketball for you tomorrow. And as a side note, I don't know if you've paid attention because your heartthrob lost in the Australian Open, but we do get Djokovic-Nadal final.
Yeah, I know Nadal ran through Tsitsipas, or
Yes,
however you pronounce his name. Probably Tsitsipas.
Djokovic also had little trouble en route to a 6-love, 6-2, 6-2 semifinal that lasted an hour and a half.
Oh, my God.
You're a grown-ass man in the semifinals of the Australian Open, and you get boat raced to the tune of an hour and a half match.
It's like a Disney children's movie running time.
Lucas Pouille gets housed. That, man. Djokovic said this of his ease in victory. It's kind of cold-hearted. I guess you're driven by some force that just takes over you, and you feel divine. You feel like you're in a different dimension. What? It's an awesome feeling that we all try to reach and stay in. Probably the biggest challenge, I think, is how to repeat that, how to stay there for as long as you possibly can. Well, he certainly stayed there for the hour and a half it took him to dismantle this poor chap.
Wow. So he feels divine is what he's saying.
Yeah, divine.
Okay.
Now, it's an old rival, and it'll be the 53rd time on tour, 8th in a Grand Slam final, that they will face one another. Nadal and Djokovic, that is.
Well, go Joker.
14 Grand Slam titles for Djokovic, 17 for Nadal. Mm-hmm. Of course, your hero has 20, so you don't need Nadal inching closer.
Correct. Now, it will get to a point where if Fed continues to slip, it's going to be, 18-18 between Nadal and Joker. And then I'll have to root for Rafa, and then I'm going to have to hope that, maybe another injury bug catches him on the baseline.
I'll tell you what's been really good is that series, it gets lost in the shuffle because Federer and Nadal has been so good. But Djokovic Nadal is 27-25 for Djokovic. 27-25, I mean, you play that many times, and that's the difference, two matches. He does trail, however, in Grand Slam finals 4-3. That's the ultimate. This is the revenge.
Yeah.
To get to 4-all. The only other time they met with the Australian Open trophy on the line was in 2012, and Djokovic won that one. That match, by the way, Tom, lasted considerably longer than his hour-and-a-half semifinal match. That one was 5 hours and 53 minutes. It was the longest Grand Slam finals match in tournament history.
Let me ask you this, just your own opinion. If Nadal, let's say, gets to 21,
but all those
and
clay court championships,
he's got 14 French of those 21. Who's the better player?
Federer. Yeah.
Even though Federer has one French Open, just a single French Open.
It's interesting. Clay court specialists, as they are known, hold a place in tennis lore as just that, clay court specialists. Whereas guys like Federer, who have won career Grand Slams, I think garner more respect because of their diverse abilities on different surfaces. Where Nadal is unique is that very few quote-unquote clay court specialists actually have as many championships off of clay as he does.
Right. Yeah, he's got 6 others at the moment. He's 11 French currently.
Yeah.
And then Fed's got 8 on grass, 11 on hard court between U.S. and Australian, and the 1 on clay.
Well, bottom line is if you're a great grass court player, you're also a great hard court player. That's always been the case. McEnroe was great at Wimbledon just as he was in the U.S. Open. So was Connors, but McEnroe never won a French Open.
Right.
He should have beaten Lindell, but he didn't.
And the argument you could make for Rafa or Federer, it's quite circular, is how many more would they have without the other existing on all surfaces?
Well, that's the old Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods discussion. How many majors would Phil have if Tiger didn't exist?
Right, but that's 14-4 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Versus, I mean, this could be toe-to-toe.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
Like if Phil had 12, then that would really be wow, Phil might have won 22 majors.
A lot of people that played in Tiger Woods' era that would have won, several more. I mean, if you think about
David Duval, but he'd have 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there. Ernie Els would probably have another 3 or 4 more.
Probably. Phil certainly would.
DeMarco would probably have 2.
Maybe.
One of them was literally a playoff loss.
Yeah, one of them he would have.
You win that, you're over the hump, but he went mental.
That's good. He doesn't need to win anything.
Yeah.
But, I will say this. It's interesting. Did you know that David Duval's 59 was recently in 97 or whatever that was? His 59 was voted the best 59 of all 59s ever shot.
Really?
Relative to the other scores to par in the field. So his 59 featured more sterling play than other people's 59s over the years. That kind of, that's cool to be able to say.
Oh, well, he was.
My 59 at the Bob Hope is better than anything anybody's ever done.
He was incredible. His problem was his peak time, which was short, was
he didn't care
right.
enough.
Well, yes, but it was also right when Tiger was doing the Tiger Slam.
But Duval did get ranked number 1. I mean, he's the only guy to do that, to knock him off like that. VJ had that little swing in there, too, where he was head-to-head with Tiger and didn't back down. That was, remember he put the Tiger head cover on his driver?
Yeah.
VJ was feeling froggy there for a while.
VJ was,
He was
VJ was a good foil. I wish he was a little younger. They could have had a decade.
We had a lot of heart. He still plays like 16 hours a day. He's a nut. He's got issues.
Oh, he'll still make a cut now. At a major, you'll see VJ
Singh is still out here making cuts. Don't you love that whenever that happens when you're watching a tournament and he's got an invite because he's either a previous winner or it's one of those times where they'll invite a guy who's 60 years old to come play for whatever reason, sponsors exemption, and you'll look at the leaderboard. VJ Singh is in this tournament and he's 7 under. Good on you, VJ. No chance to be around on Sunday, but good for you today on Thursday. Good for you.
Those would have been sneaky competitive times if Tiger didn't exist and it was just Duval versus VJ versus Ernie versus Retief Goosen versus Phil versus man. I mean, there were a lot of good B flight golfers. They'd be A flights in most other eras, but not Tigers.
Do you remember the stretch where when Retief Goosen beat what's-his-name in a playoff at the U.S. Open because they both missed like 3-foot putts?
Billy Mayfair was a guy who missed a putt. I don't know that he actually made the playoff, though.
But no, the other guy who did, David Toms, ended up winning a major. But David Toms one time, I'll never forget this, missed like a 2-foot putt to win the major and then lost in the playoff. And I remember thinking, oh, David, that'll hurt your feelings. Because he had a window of about an hour. Mm-hmm. But he was really good in that hour.
He had the hole-in-one the time he won the PGA, right? Was it the PGA?
I think he's won a U.S. Open and a PGA. I think he's got 2 majors in his bag. There's a lot of weird guys that have a couple majors in the bag. Like they had a cup of coffee in Excellenceville. They were just somewhere in this. Somehow they got to this place and then it just went away.
Is that what Brooks will be?
Well, he's got 3 majors.
Yeah, but a cup of coffee, a couple of years, and then,
You know where he was this week? Instead of playing the Farmers? Maldives. He was in the Maldives. He's on a boat with his lady. And he got paid over $1 million to play abroad for the week.
Huh.
I
wonder how you know that fact.
the kind of money these dudes make once they get to a certain level. If you're a major champion, you get lured by these other locales. And if you're not playing on the tour that week, they'll just offer you a couple $1 million to go over and play in Dubai or whatever.
I would think the Germans would like Brooks Koepka. Just earnest, strong, quiet.
Well, he'd been on the European tour. I'm sure they got to see a lot of him. Good work out of you. Rory Chirac up next with Rattler Review. Should be good. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be well. Stay warm. Going to be cold. You know, we get Tuesday, buddy? 20. If my voice cracked, I'm so excited. 28 degrees on Tuesday night with rain. We might get some snow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Snow day. All right. Sounds good.
I'm loving it. I like that stuff. I hope it snows. I hope it stays on the ground like feet of snow. I want this town to go silly. Just don't want to be driving next to me. All right, good work. Be well.